Hey everybody, let's get right into it. Right into it. We're getting ready for the launch on Friday, and I want to clean up the itch page, which means we need a screenshot of the game. Hey Darkstorm, hey Bip. So let's do grant most things and then just get some battles going. I don't know. Right, let's do that. And maybe one of these. And this. And then take a screenshot right when lightning strikes. All right, I want auto battle on. I do want to take a screenshot of this. I don't know how much UI we should have open at the time. Maybe that's good. Okay, yeah. Well, it's a better screenshot than I had now. Although it does take... It has the game UI in there. I guess we need to cut that out. Okay, hey Chippy, hey Schwartz. I should have full screened it. Ah, darn it. Fine, I'm going to full screen it. Let's take another one of these. Repeat. Repeat. Just grant a bunch of items. There we go. Now there's a screenshot. This man knows his screenshots. Pretty good. Okay. I just don't like that part. Quest has become available. Yeah, I'd have to hide the nudge label though and then take another screenshot. You know what? I don't care. For checkpoint number 2, I think this is fine. I don't need to take some like super professional looking screenshot. Okay, so we'll export this just to downloads. And we'll say checkpoint 2 screenshot. Cool. Now let's delete this one and add in the checkpoint number 2 downloads. Where'd it go? Did it not export? No, it didn't. There. There it is. Okay, good. Let's just save that so I don't, mess anything up. Let's see what else we can update here. We need new builds, but I'm not going to do that yet. So this is a very early alpha of Skeleseller. Now this is just an early alpha of Skeleseller. The game will probably launch at the end of 2024. There's about an hour of gameplay so far. How to play. Hire adventurers, send them into battle to collect loot. Loot will automatically be sold by you and your adventurers. Use money to upgrade your shops. To upgrade the town and your adventurers. Okay. Scroll wheel still works. WSD still works. T opens the skill tree. P opens the player-wide skill tree. I don't even think there are any other shortcuts. If I do feedback here, this is probably wrong. Yes, it is wrong. Let's go get the correct link from URL opener. Oh, this is the incorrect name for this. This is checkpoint 2 feedback form. I'll just call it checkpoint feedback form so I don't need to keep renaming it. Hey, Blue. We'll put this over here. Edit. Whoops. Actually, you know what? Let's copy the shortened link to this. Send via link, shorten, copy. Okay, now we'll paste that in here. Yeah. Keep in mind, this isn't the final version. If you're curious to know about the changes we make, check out this list. Major version history, July 26th, 2024. Checkpoint number 2 uploaded. And then I want to put in a bunch of changes. I think it belongs here. So what are the changes? We got to go look through Actually, what we could do is we could just revert on Git back to when we were using checkpoint number 1. I could run the game. But I think let's just look through the commit history. Just scroll to May 17th. Which, I mean, shouldn't take too long, right? May 21st. Yeah, okay, we're almost there. Fix bug with battle ending multiple times. Okay, yeah. So here we are. So quests. Let's write a little list of everything that's changed. Changes since checkpoint number 1. Added quests. Added some battle effects. Yeah, but not many. Fireball and lightning zaps so far. We might add a slash graphic too. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, lay out battles a little bit differently. Oh yeah, add animated enemy sprites. Dropping off quest items, fix bug with money label. Okay, that's pretty good for that one. Let's look at the next page. Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, battles can now have multiple rooms. Is that never the case before this? I guess not, yeah. Download, expand on instance tile maps. Transition. Cooldown for mental swiftness. Oh yeah, adventurers can restock items when they're not in battle. Adventurers show on the overworld. Hey, Kevinator. Wait for it. I think I know what this probably is. I never totally got why people did this, but we'll see. Maybe adventurers become workers. You mean like you could retire them? Because the difference between adventurers and workers are that adventurers can do battle. All right. Hey, welcome in everybody. there was a sentry who came in, Kevinator, and I was like, I bet Kit's about to raid. But hi, in 2 days, we launched the second checkpoint of this game I'm working on. I will show you all right now. But you'll be able to play. Wow, it just crashed. That's not my fault. That's the engine that crashed, not my game. In 2 days, you'll be able to play this for free. It's a game called Skeleseller. I've been working on it for about 2.5 months. A very small team of people working on it. 2 devs, 1 artist. Kit says, hi, Adam. Hi, Kit. Hi, Raiders. So this is the game. It looks very different from when you might have last seen this. In this game, you play as a skeleton, although you're not directly controlling the skeleton. It's just wandering around town. And you hire adventurers, and they do battle for you. And practically everything is automated in this game. So it's a very laid-back, casual game. Adventurers do battle, and when they win the battle, they'll put items into your storeroom, and then you and your adventurers can go and restock them in the shops. And then you can use the money you get from that to upgrade your town and your adventurers. So this is, like I said, this is like 2.5 months of work here. There are skill trees for your adventurers in town. You can hire a bunch of different adventurers here. We got some player-wide skills. There's only 4 of these so far. And a bunch of other things. What's that keyboard? It's a corn keyboard. Anyway, welcome in everybody. Like I said, this will be available on Friday. It'll just be on itch, not on Steam yet. What did you say? Right into a Godot stream as I sit working on my Godot game. Yeah. Last time I was here, you were not this far. Yeah, there's been a lot of progress, and especially in some of the things I didn't really show here. Like we just added in auto battling on Friday or Monday or something. So now after 10 seconds, it'll just repeat the battle. There's a good way of you starting many battles at once, not having to manage them yourself. And I purposely shrunk the game for a second so you can see this button. But now if you click start battle, you can pick where your location is you want to go to. You can actually form your party here. So you can choose your party and then click start. That's working too. Looking good, man. Keep crushing it. Thank you for the resub, Kit. 44 months also. That's nuts. Do you need music? Never really sold anything. I'm going to start composing music next week for this. But thank you for the offer. I'm probably going to start doing music streams. So if you tune in on Monday, it'll be me sitting at a very different kind of keyboard. but I'm not sure how good it's all going to be. The last game I made was Botland, and I composed the music for that too. It was okay. I think it's on YouTube somewhere. Yeah, it's okay. It's 10 minutes of music that probably took me like months to make. The potential of a game like this with lots of polish is insane. Well, so this is why I want to get feedback. And on Friday, if you play the game, again, you don't have to play the game. You don't have to give positive feedback. But if you play this game, please, please, please do just press escape and go to provide feedback after you played it for however long you feel like. So if after 5 minutes you're like, I hate this game, that's totally fine. But please do leave feedback on it. I took feedback for checkpoint number 1. And that, I'll show you what some of the questions are. They're not like crazy questions or anything. But number 1, and the most important thing is, I had fun playing the game. Do you agree? Strongly agree, etc. And most people said they had fun. It looked very different back then. There was not as much stuff to do. It wasn't as clear what was going on. And then, yeah, how'd you find out about the game? You know, where would you want to play the game, etc. So we got a lot of responses. And then there are long form things, which I can't scroll down to because they might have personal information. But they're the same questions asked here pretty much. Any other thoughts you'd like to share? This is how I'm going to measure that things are actually going in the right direction. For Botland, I spent 5 years developing this game. And by the end of it, I had a game that people didn't really want to play, I think, which totally, I should have done things differently. And this is proof that I have learned from that and are going to do things differently. Yeah. You love, have you played it, Kevinator? Is it on Steam? It's not on Steam yet. We've been kind of just churning through all the different tasks that I have. And I've been splitting things up into checkpoint. Checkpoint number 1 was after 1 month of development. So it was a very rough looking game at the time. Like I said, things weren't super clear. Now I think the game looks a lot better. There's still no sounds or music. So it doesn't totally feel like a game yet, but it's playable. There's about an hour of gameplay. And the Steam page is probably going to be in checkpoint number 3, if I had to guess. And that'll probably launch sometime in September, maybe. And the final game launch will probably be in like December. So I know this is a big departure going from scam baiting to this, but thank you again, Kit, and hope you all stay around and check this out. I'm going to be streaming for the next maybe 3 hours or so. And in that time, this sounds kind of sucky to have to say, but when you're preparing for a launch, the tasks you're doing aren't like make a battle system or something. It's like polish this label or, you know, make this a little bit clearer. So there aren't going to be super fun tasks today. And in fact, what I was doing when you came in here was working on the itch page. So I was just about to write down all the things that changed between the different checkpoints. Let me save this page. The page looks pretty bare. It's not anything super exciting. I just took a screenshot right now and put it in the game. But yeah, I'll eventually need a trailer. I'll need a whole bunch of different things. So yeah, let me see if I can answer some questions. What DAW do you use? I'm going to use FL Studio. Yeah. And I'm happy to answer anything. Yeah, I don't mind. And hey, Zoe, long time no see. You have? Oh, cool. Yeah. How do you know which adventure to choose? So this is a game with no wrong choices, I guess I would say. So I think that by the end of the game, you'll have either most of the adventurers or all of them. So if you pick, you know, the wrong one, it's not going to really set you back too much. Right now, you don't actually choose how you hire them. It's always in this order: rogue, mage, warrior, cleric. But that's because we only have 4. In the future, you'll get a choice of maybe 2 or 3. And it'll give you a little intro of what they are, maybe. It'll say like, okay, the cleric, mostly healing, also has a buff, blessing of haste. You know, warrior, half tank, half damage dealing. These characters are just damage dealing. So you'll have a way of making a choice, but you won't know for sure. And I don't think it'll really matter. Like I said, there's no losing. Will it be native Linux compatible? Yeah. There's already, well, I guess I took the builds offline for now, but on Friday there will be at least a Windows and a Linux version. Now I'm on Mac, and you might think, oh, it's easy to make a Mac version, right? But there's a bug in Godot, the beta that I'm using right now, that prevents exporting. So I might need to build a nightly version so that I can export from there, and it might just take long enough that I don't feel like doing it. Plus, the number of users we had on each platform last time was like, I think 113 on Windows, and then 16 on Mac and 16 on Linux. So it's like, might as well really just make sure we're targeting Windows. And then, yeah, a Linux build is simple too, but the Mac one might be broken. Where's the creative dev? I deleted that. How do we play it? Where do we find it? So yeah, on Friday on itch is when it'll be available. And which game is it? It's called Skeleseller. There's a little bit more information about it here if you're curious. A little bit about the story. I mean, this document is very small. It's like, hey, what was coded in? Where's the code? When's it going to launch? Oh, you use FL Studio as well. Yeah. I mean, maybe you'll have some tips for me on Monday. I've composed some melodies so far, and I have an idea for how I can flesh them out, but I'm really bad at instrumentation. I don't have a lot of instruments I can use. Add a ranger, bard. We'll probably add in a few more classes before the next checkpoint, maybe like 2, 3. And then by the final launch of the game, I'm hoping there are like 10 or 15 classes. I have a Steam Deck. Will it play well? Performance-wise, it'll probably be fine. Interface-wise, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. I think I have a note here somewhere about making this, consider supporting smaller screens. So yeah, like I said, performance-wise, it'll probably be okay, but will you be able to play that well on a tiny screen? I don't know. So I just haven't gotten around to that sort of thing yet. Am I self-taught? No, I have a command about this. I did go to school. I got a computer science degree. Is it possible that an itch rapid release like this would just be a version 1 kind of thing? Is this something that might be developed anew later on? You mean like how there's, Diablo 1 and Diablo 2? Should I make a completely separate game? Is that what you mean? Or do you mean like an early access kind of version 1? What game am I trying to make? It's a game called Skeleseller. It's this one that you see here. So in short, you hire adventurers to do battle and they earn you items, and then you stock up your shops with these items and they get sold by customers that are wandering around town, or sorry, get bought by customers that are wandering around town, and you use the money to upgrade your adventurers and upgrade your town. That's a bug. What happened there? Interesting. Okay, we're gonna have to fix that. Bug. The skill tree, when opened, has the wrong size for some reason. Not actually sure why. How long have I been using Godot? I started back in 2020. I was doing something very different back then. My channel is called Adam Learns, and back then the reason why is I planned on learning tech stuff and then teaching it. So I made 3 courses, and one of them was a Godot course. Then that's the first time I'd used Godot. I maybe used it for about a month, and then I made a course on it. And now it's free. I mean, I'm not trying to like... I don't think this course is probably as relevant anymore now, because there's now Godot 4 that's been out, and back then I think it was 3. Yeah. Connected to HDMI and PC mode should be fine, but probably not on the go then, right? I mean, it might work on the go as well. I just haven't tested it, and because it's such a small team that I'm working with, I can't really dedicate resources to things like that just yet. The main goal has been make sure that we're on the right track. And that's a really, really important goal, because like I said, I made this game a while ago, Botland, and I feel like after a year or two, I should have been much more confident that people were there who wanted to play the game. And people were like, I don't really get it, and it's not that great. And I mean, a bunch of stuff, totally fair. I made a bunch of mistakes, and I'm trying to correct those mistakes. So I feel like if you've ever heard the advice, fail fast, fail often, I think that's the kind of thing I want to do, and just make an MVP here, a minimum viable product. And then once we know that we're making the right thing, yes, put a lot more effort into it and put some more polish into it. And that's why the general timeline for this game was about 6 months, and we're at about like the 2 or maybe 2.5 month mark. So in terms of systems, almost everything's in the game. There are a couple things that are missing, but like, okay, there are skill trees and stuff, and there's quests, which I guess I can't show unless I do this. Let me speed up the game. Oh, that's really where this thing... Okay, yeah, I can see the rough edges on the pixel art with the new filter that I've got. Man, all right, well, anyway, yeah, quests are now in the game. So they need you to fetch 2 cloaks. You can accept the quest, and then there's a little drop-off bin here. So things like that are there. There are different classes and instances and everything, and we just need more of all of that. I should probably write this down. The items look bad when not in full screen. Maybe we should get a bitmap font sooner. Don't know. Yeah. What kind of coding did you start with in your youth? Web development or C# or something? I mean, back then it was basic coding, as in like literally basic languages, like QBasic and yeah, there were a bunch of different variations of basic, but yeah, things like QBasic. I don't think C# probably existed. Web development was not as popular. Yeah, thank you, Selena. Yeah, if you let me know, if it turns out to be good, then great. If it doesn't turn out to be good, then it's just something that's slated for later. and it's maybe not even something that necessarily gets done. I think that on Steam, there's an icon for Steam Deck where like a green check mark means, yep, this is going to run great. And then there's a yellow one, and like a red one means it doesn't run at all. Maybe it gets the yellow one. Maybe something like that. I mean, is the Harvest Moon to a potential Stardew Valley, which will mean cha-ching? You mean the V1 thing? I'm not totally sure what you're saying, but yeah, okay, yeah. So just to be clear here, what we're producing right now is like a V0.2, and yeah, maybe in December or so. And I keep saying or so. I don't know the exact timeline for all this stuff, but that's when I have a V1 planned. And it's going to be the same game. It'll just hopefully look a lot different. There'll be a little bit more kind of going on, more customizations, etc. Yeah. Yeah. I see. Fair. Yeah. I've got the Adam's Age command if you are curious about it, but it links to a scavenger hunt. And some people don't find it worthwhile to go through that. I try to get into coding, but I just need so much time to learn. I look up to those who are past that learning curve. I'd say it's getting easier and easier every year. For one, there are more resources. If you want to learn coding 40 years ago, it was probably just go to a school. I don't know if you could just learn it on your own. It's not like PCs were a thing, right? And now it is like, hey, there are tutorials everywhere. Tools have gotten better. AI is now a thing. There's so much more that can help you learn. Am I using a task list software? I'm using Google Doc. I use 3 different things. And I know this is a little weird sometimes because people are like, why do you need 3 tools? I use GitHub projects for the sort of Kanban board. And unfortunately, nothing is here right now because I'm in launch prep and I haven't been adding tasks anymore. But yeah, I've got a whole bunch of tasks here. Normally, I set up iterations like sprints. Then Google Docs, this document is actually public if you want to go to this. This is for my immediate to-do list. And then I also keep more persistent notes in Obsidian, and this is also public. If you want to look at pretty much any notes I've written, there are a lot of Godot notes here, Godot engine, Godot UI. All this stuff is public. I try to share as much knowledge as I can for free. I know it's maybe seems counterintuitive to saying, oh, I had a course selling website, but there's only one course that's being sold here right now, and it's this one, the development efficiency one. And I still stand by this, but I'm not trying to plug this right now. What engine do you think would work best to make an early 90s style dungeon crawler? Whatever engine you're most comfortable with. That's what I would say. And the reason why is because early 90s immediately means that this isn't going to be some like super performance heavy, ray tracing, 400,000 characters on the screen at once kind of thing. So yeah, probably Godot or Unity, because early 90s also seems to imply 2D, which would probably not be as easy in Unreal. Can you tell us a little bit about your split keyboard and how you like it? Yeah, sure. So this is a Korn keyboard. And yeah, unfortunately, Raimo, it doesn't work in responses to things. It's a Korn keyboard. The theory behind this keyboard is that it's got 36 keys. And as a result, you are no more than 1 unit away from any key you need to be at. So on a traditional keyboard, you might have a lot of hand movement across the keyboard. You don't have hand movement here. You just have the finger movement. And that means that you don't have keys for every single function you want. So you need to enter layers. So I've got letters here, just like any other keyboard. And I've got numbers here. And then I've got navigation here. And I've got function keys. And I've got shortcuts for a bunch of things. So a lot of stuff that I do on the computer is still very fast and clean. And you can see as I type. And we will get to some development stuff today. I'm just reacting to chat questions right now. Any sources to learn JavaScript, React, TypeScript, etc.? No, I don't. I learned it long enough ago where those resources probably wouldn't be that helpful right now. But there's a lot online that you can find. How long did it take you to learn how to use it? For typing English, maybe like a week. But for coding, at least a month or so. And then I actually ended up switching to Colmac. And that took me probably about a year before I felt like, all right, I'm not struggling. Well, no, not struggling. I'm maybe like 90% of the way to where I was with QWERTY. So it's been a year and a month or two. Yeah. It's been about 14 months since I started with Colmac. And I feel like I'm still learning. Finished DMing a D&D session, so my brain is much. I see. Yeah, well, cool, Techlanders. And like I said, Friday is the day. That's when you can just go to itch.io/whatever, Skeleseller, I don't know. I'll have a link on here. And the important thing, like I said, feedback. So please do give feedback. And it doesn't have to be good feedback. You could say, I didn't like this game, although the feedback quality should be good. You should say, I didn't like this game because, and then tell me why you didn't like it. But it just doesn't need to be positive. Any suggestion for finding a game dev job fresh out of college? I think finding any software job fresh out of college right now is probably very tough. So I would say the same thing I say to pretty much everybody, which is it's a combination of making sure your hiring materials are good, CV, resume, cover letter, that sort of thing, and networking. And also, I guess in the case of being new to the industry, a portfolio. I think it matters a little less if you're a senior developer looking for a job right now. But yeah, if you're just starting out, I'd say make sure you've got either a GitHub, a portfolio site, and talk to companies, talk to your friends, go to any career fairs you can find. Am I satisfied with the Switch? Do you feel you're more efficient on Colmac? I don't think I'm more efficient on Colmac, no. But I am satisfied with the Switch. I was just interested in wanting to try it. Vim or Emacs, I don't use either. I feel like people associate a keyboard like this with, oh, you must use Vim or you must use Emacs. I just use VS Code with like VS Code shortcuts. I don't even use Vim key bindings. And it works well enough. I also have this crazy mouse that has 12 buttons on the side. So, a lot of window management stuff you can do with this and just kind of switching tabs. I can use arrow keys from here and delete letters and press space and enter. And so I have many keyboards at my disposal. Take care, BK. You think it's important to have a degree with all those resources around in terms of hireability? Asking for a friend. I'll say this. I don't think that a degree is very important in software. I think the structure of a college or university could be helpful for people. There are a lot of people who, if you just leave them alone for a year and say, here are all the resources, they'll come out of that year with nothing new. They won't have learned anything because they just lack the motivation or the structure to do those things. Whereas if you go to college for a year, it's unlikely you would have done nothing in that time. So if you need that structure, then by all means, yeah, go get a degree. But otherwise, I don't think it's super important for software. Emacs evangelical. Yeah. 12 button mouse. Never heard of that one before. Yeah. And most people use this for games, which I guess I technically do too, because I don't have a second mouse, but I mostly just use it for the operating system. Need an updated developer workflow video. I did make one for Mac and the developer efficiency one. But yeah, in the course. They did hit barriers in the hiring process. Yes, so this is the other thing I was going to say, which I didn't want to harp on this too much because I feel like the structure is the more important part. But you will encounter some bias in the interviewing process depending on the company size, the country that you're in, etc. It does still exist that people are like, oh, this person doesn't have a degree. But I hope that's decreasing. And at least where I've worked at the bigger companies, they say as much as possible, like remove that bias. You can't change your brain, but it's like, try not to focus on that, try not to even learn it, and then try not to actually make any decisions based on that. So if you find out, oh, this person has, 14 years of education, it shouldn't change your mind if they are performing as well as someone who had 0 years of education, for example. There should be some objective criteria for that. Okay, there was one other issue. Yeah, okay, I wrote down both issues. So I wanted to finish listing all the changes. I'm going to get to work, but feel free to keep asking me questions. I'm happy to distract myself. Don't worry about it. I wanted to track everything that's changed since the last version. Let's see, move some code, quest ID, pathfinding. Oh yeah. Characters in the town. Don't walk where they shouldn't, I guess I'll say. The town map has been fleshed out. You can't pan the camera to blank space, nor is there blank space in the main map. Yeah. As far as I've heard, a degree only limits your upward mobility quite a bit later. I've never heard of that sort of thing. I've also never seen that. I've worked at, I'd say a mixture of, it's been mostly big places, but I've worked at a mixture of like medium to big places and a couple of small places thrown in. And I guess mostly speaking for the bigger places, I don't think a degree hurts you. I mean, maybe there's a place out there or something, or some specific experience people had where maybe it did, but I don't think it would hurt to do. Unless you can't afford it or something. I think then it could be a problem. You probably don't want to be in debt the rest of your life. All right, what else do we have? Spawn adventures at the portal, stuff creating workers. Okay. I don't know how many more pages of this we have. I think it's 2. So this is the second to last. What do you think of coding boot camps? The game's not open source, no. Sorry, Groxy. Yeah, I am probably going to open source Botland, though. Although I'm going to lean heavily on somebody else for helping with that. And I made a game called Ophog a while ago, which is open source. I guess this is it's like a reverse tower defense game where you put characters down and they just move on their own. But no, I don't plan on open sourcing this because I plan on selling it. Anyway, coding boot camps. So I haven't enrolled in one. I've only kind of seen one. I gave a talk at one point, and it seemed like the students were pretty motivated, and I don't know, you learn a subset of what you would learn for a degree, and it's more supposed to be like practical, sort of on the job kinds of skills you might need. So because I haven't done one, it's hard for me to say. I bet it's like anything else. If you pay attention and you care about it, you'll probably do well and you'll probably learn a lot. And if you don't, it's not going to be some cure-all for, hey, I couldn't find a job. Ever done a game jam? I did sort of one, not really. There's a break game that we play here called Jump Royale, which I really should put a picture in this repo. But I made this in 3 days, and then we've built on it since. But when I take a break, you can see this game. It's a platformer that you play through Twitch chat, and the goal is to just jump as high in the world as you can. I mean, not having a degree only affects you. Oh, I see what you're saying. The other, okay, I interpreted it backwards. Yeah. Boot camp is $20,000. I think that's the other thing that's tough about boot camp sometimes, is it feels like more of a gamble. It's like, what if you got sick for that? Well, they might have a refund policy for extenuating circumstances, but yeah, what if you just weren't totally at your best, but you didn't deserve a refund or something, and then you felt like you wasted that time? Use AI for developing. I use Copilot, so yes. Have I created anything all from an AI? No, not anything all from an AI. But every once in a while, and I'd say AI is pretty good with the code base we're dealing with. Like, let's say I go into the battle system here, and I make some function like private void, I don't know, add fire effect to entity, and that's it. I just type a parenthesis. Like you can see here, it filled in the argument. Okay, that's nice. And then it assumes that I might have an effect like a fire effect. I don't. I probably should have come up with something that fits more in line with what I have. But if I was just like, you know what, let's get the life that we have into life equals, it just knows how to do this. This is, I think, exactly the right code, except for that this is actually a float. So that was my mistake. But it's like, this is pretty nice. And that's, I think, what I use AI for the most right now is just a very smart autocomplete. I actually just did an interview last Friday with a product manager at GitHub Copilot. I think that was a great interview. Unfortunately, I don't have a standalone YouTube video for it. So if anyone is curious, you could find it in this video. Can I click this button? Yeah. Yeah, I'll put it on YouTube, though, at some point. I'll also link my YouTube here. Yeah. Okay, what else has changed? Oh yeah, added the cleric. So now we have 4 classes. What else? What else? What else? Request items, rename variables, improve. Oh yeah, improved worker and customer AI. It's still not in its final form, but the workers and customers will feel less stupid. Yeah. Wouldn't trust it to write complete programs. Are not able to use it at work since there's questions on code ownership. Yeah, I think as far as writing complete programs, you know, the thing I would maybe trust AI for to write completely would be a script to do something. Maybe you need to move files around on your system, or you need to refactor some code. But as far as a complete program, it's like most business applications you'd need nowadays would be so large that yeah, I don't think an AI would be able to do that really. Usually find it just wastes my time, and Copilot autocomplete didn't really make me more productive. Yeah, I think it helps me a lot. In fact, there was something I wrote earlier today, which I'm probably not going to remember off the top of my head, but I had just written out my usual, you know, like private void, whatever, and it filled out the body of the function with exactly what I would have wanted, and I would have needed to think about it. And I've seen that happen enough where it saved me time. And I always say this, I think development efficiency itself doesn't matter too much in terms of time saved. What it matters is preventing context switches. So the faster you can go from I have a task to I've done that task, the less time you have to potentially get distracted, forget how you're doing things. Maybe you search for something online and an ad gets in the way and you try clicking it and now you're like on a shopping website or something. It's like you're so far from the code that you've just lost track. Like that does happen. I mean, maybe not the clicking an ad thing, but getting sidetracked. So yeah, I think it's speeding things up for me, which means less losing track of things. All right, what else changed? Customer graphics. Oh yeah. So started using animated customer graphics that match the style of the rest of the game. Oh yeah, added a save load system. Added a save/load system. It's not perfect yet, but it saves the big stuff. What else? Add a battle prep screen where you can choose the location and your party. Proper adventurous sprites. What were they before? Oh, I think they were randomized. Yeah. No, they were something from Super Retro World. Yeah. Super useful writing comments. Yeah. It could definitely help with things like that. I also think the writing comments is less controversial. I think it's easier to scan through English and see if it's correct. It also does a pretty good job at matching your own tone. At least it seems to have. How to use Git with Godot. I've been struggling with it. It shouldn't be too bad. In fact, I think Godot has a Git section on their page. Yeah, version control systems. I think this is all you should really need to look at. I'll show you briefly what our git ignore looks like. It's this. And the reason I'm showing you that briefly is because if you go to gitignore.io, this is a great site. And this applies to pretty much anything you're developing. Let's say you're coding in Node.js. Just type in Node here and click create, and it makes a git ignore file that you would probably want if you're working with Node. So same thing with Godot. Just type Godot in here and click create, and there you go. So just slap this into your project directory, make a git repo, and you're pretty much done. I think it depends on the person. Oh yeah, it definitely depends on the person. I think any tooling depends on the person. So if it's a distraction for you, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it not being a distraction. Actually, you could make it so that it only pops up when you want it to. I've heard of people doing that. So right now, I mean, you kind of saw this happen, right? If I just type private and nothing else, it tries adding something. And yeah, that can be distracting. But imagine if it just didn't and I needed to pop something up, then maybe that could be a little bit easier. Not that I'm trying to convince you to use it. I'm just saying that that could make it a little bit more amenable for you. New to coding and confused why my float function isn't working in VS Code despite proper syntax. Still gives me wrong base error when I type a decimal. Oh, you might be not using, so depending on what language you have, you might need the F at the end of a number. So for example, if you say something like double, actually, let me just write this in here. If I say double num equals, actually the other way around. If I say float num equals 4.0, it's going to highlight this as an error. It says literal type of double cannot be casted to float. Although it also tells me just put an F at the end. So that might be what you're doing wrong. I need to see the code to tell you exactly what's going wrong. Wonder if it's the same git ignore you get from GitHub when making a new repo. Oh, they also have something like that built in? Interesting. What's your honest thoughts on Godot versus Unity? I haven't used Unity since probably like 2015. So as far as usage goes, it's just a big question mark. I have no idea because I haven't used it in so long and they probably made changes over the last decade. But there was the whole monetization debacle that happened, I want to say last year, but maybe it was this year. And the CEO was ousted and a whole bunch of people were up in arms. And to me, it was like, look, I was already familiar with Godot. I wanted to try it out and I tried it and it was nice. So I just continued to use it. So there wasn't really a big question of like, should I use Godot or Unity? Just Godot felt like a better fit. Oh, it's pretty limited. Can't really customize it. You could probably, you know, you could just disable the extension entirely and enable it when you want it. But that's probably enough friction where it wouldn't be helpful. How do you intend to code the AI for seller and buyer? Graph searching algo or state machines or something else? So when I say AI, by the way, I'm talking about like how you'd call the original Pokemon games having an AI. Like they've got some if statements and they choose what they would need to do. So probably, yeah, probably we're gonna have a state machine, and probably it's gonna be something like, they're probably gonna be states like wander around, maybe like look at item that they don't intend to buy, maybe, yeah, buy an item, like an exit town kind of thing, and maybe like a fun state, like drink coffee or something that has no game impact, but just kind of does something interesting. I guess like a fun idle state. Steal an item. I don't know about that. Anyway, something like that, but it's going to be pretty simple. The reason, in fact, it's already a state machine, I guess. The reason I say I made it smarter in this changelog is because we had a customer wander state. Yeah, this. So this state right now, the way that it works is you wander until there's an item you can afford. And when there is, you transition in a buy item. Well, what this used to do is it used to make sure that at least 2 seconds had passed, which meant an item might become available. And then like, well, it's not worth describing the issues, but there are some issues and I just changed it. So yeah, with the final AI, we're probably going to just still use a state machine and just do something a little bit different. Play and review your game in the next few weeks. Okay, cool. Techlanders, thanks. By the way, in a few weeks, I'm not trying to rush you, but in a few weeks, I might have closed the feedback form, because once we get something like, 30 plus responses, it's usually we know enough about what we need to address. And then I usually need to release something different. I've not used Godot 3D, no. So many conflicting meanings. Yeah, especially because game AI, you would almost always say AI at pretty much any point in gaming in the last like 30 years to indicate like a computer player. Like, oh, the AI did that thing. That's just, at least that was common parlance everywhere that I lived. And it was never AI. It was really just a bunch of if statements usually. Potential improvement in 198. Let me take a look. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I need to put some thought into this, but that'll be a checkpoint 3 kind of thing, I think. Just like current AI. I mean, not just like current AI. They are large language models and not just some if statements. They're generally a bunch of tensors doing kind of incomprehensible stuff under the hood. Isn't the game going to have a resource-like system where you need to have an efficient buy/sell market? No, that wasn't the plan. It's really a pretty casual game. Like, some people have talked about this. Oh yeah, what if you added so that potions have a higher demand because you haven't sold one in a while? And like, maybe I do something like that. But the way I look at it is, how does it change your decision tree as a player? And I think it's just so straightforward that it's almost not worth doing. Instead of going to, this location that drops axes, you go to this location that drops potions, and otherwise it doesn't really change the game too much. So it's kind of how I'd want to do this. How do you implement pathfinding? Godot has an entire navigation system, and it's done with a nav mesh, which is a mesh that at any different polygon in this thing, you have line of sight to any other location. So it can just navigate to that. I can kind of show the nav mesh, but not really because of this viewport thing. But you see this, how there's some blue lines coming out of this bin here. This bin is an obstacle, and the blue represents walkable places. So this over to here is walkable, and over to here is walkable. And the reason why it thinks you can walk on all the rest of this map is actually because of something kind of creative that we did. Where is that creative thing? In here? Yeah. So the tile maps actually have red dots indicating that there are walls here because they're invisible. So I didn't want to actually have a sprite there. What I just said probably isn't super clear, but basically we add the collision dynamically at runtime. Maybe add the path blocking to the shops. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think we should do that. Add invisible walls to the shop stall itself. Yeah. Language of Python, here's the code. X equals, let me take a look. Actually, I'll just go to some Python playground thing. What is going on? Why can't I highlight text? Oh, weird. There's just no highlight. Oh, it's probably dark reader. Yeah, it's just dark reader. Five, six. There's no problem with this, at least. It's not complaining. Python has what's called dynamic typing. So X at the start of the program is going to be set to a float. And if you needed to change the type of it later, you could. Z being set to round, X plus Y. I don't know what type is returned from round, but it looks like everything is fine. Oh, and adding decimals. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you type 4.2. Yeah, it's because you're processing the input as an integer at first. If you delete that, then it should. Oh, what does input return? Maybe you can't cast the same way you can. Python parse float. How do I parse a string to a float? Just float a. Interesting. Wonder why that doesn't work. Oh, unmatched parentheses. I'm just not reading the error message. Yeah, 4.2, 5.3. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the int is what made it an integer, and you just got to remove that. All right, take care, Zumbach. Hope to see you then. No need to go and create a whole new pathing system when you can just do a quick fix like that. Yeah, and the other thing has to do with the other reason for that is how Godot uses its nav meshes, which is I think they come from like one tile map. So I could have had an invisible tile map that was the walls, and then you could see them, and I could just turn them off when they're in the game. But anyway, this turned out to be pretty easy. Okay, let's keep looking through the changes. I'm probably gonna be working off stream pretty much all of tomorrow and just doing what I can to make the game look a little bit better. Where'd the GitHub repo go? No, where is it? There it is. Okay. Add button to show game menu. Yeah, I don't think added game menu is interesting. Customizing the number of instance stages, revamp quests, player-wide skill tree. Oh, add a player-wide skill tree. It's called the Skell tree, but I want to respell Skell. Customize the instant room, change scenes, add content, add item doubling, more player abilities, quests, fixes. Up on quest completion. Yeah, where did I write quests? Quests are how you upgrade shops now. Player abilities in their own folder. Function, anything else? Auto battle is one thing. Yeah, battle placeholder and auto battle. Add an auto battle feature and stop showing the battles as dead space when they're not present. Yeah, there. So these are all the big changes. Let's see if they're clear enough. Add a quest. Quests are how you upgrade shops now. Shopkeepers will offer a quest when you find an item that they're interested in. Added some battle effects. Added animated enemy sprites. Battles can have multiple rooms. Showing the town previously. They did not have associated graphics unless they were in battle. You can no longer hire workers now that adventurers can restock items. Characters in the town don't walk where they shouldn't so that they don't step on the grass. I don't know. I'm just the one cutesy patch note, I guess. Town map has been fleshed out. You can't pan the camera to blank space, nor is there blank space. Added the cleric, improved worker and customer AI. I'll say the first healing class. Right? I don't think there was a healer before this. No, there wasn't. Improved worker and customer AI. Started using animated customer graphics. Added a save and load system. Added. I guess I'm putting all this in past tense. So same thing here. Battle prep screen where you can choose the location in your party. Added a player-wide skill tree. Added an auto battle feature. Stopped showing the battles at dead space when they're pressing it. Have more info on player-wide skills. with skills like adventurers and workers move faster and items are worth more. There we go. How long have I been using the servo keyboard? I want to say 3 years. New version going to be coming out soon? Yeah, in 2 days. Yep. This is stop talking. Okay, this links to another video, and this video was November 26th, 2021. Yeah, so it's been about 3 years. Do I think it's worth it? I really like this keyboard. So yes, I think it's worth it, but I can't generically say it will be worth it for you. By the way, just to be clear, Signalist, when I say out soon, I'm talking about an alpha version of the game is going to be out. So this is what's going to launch on Friday. This is what's going to be free. When the final version, like a V1 launches in December, it's going to cost probably like $8. I'm just making up a number. I don't know, something like that. Just looking for ways to save your wrist. You could probably, I was going to say, you could probably get by without spending so much money on a keyboard. A split keyboard might help, though. It's worth at least looking into. But from most people I've heard of who have wrist pain, I shouldn't say most, a decent number of them, they started doing more exercises, and the exercises helped more than any keyboard helped. So that's another consideration to make, is that maybe there's some amount of just like stretching you can do as you're working or weightlifting or something, or grip strength. I don't know what's causing your pain exactly, and I'm certainly not an expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. So now we're going to paste this into here and hope that it works. Nope. Okay, well, whatever. Let's just format it. Actually, you know what? It'd be easier than to format it if it's just a bunch of... Oh, it was a bunch of blank or new lines. What if I removed the hyphens? Does that make this paste in better? Okay, that kind of worked. So now I just had to hit backspace a bunch of times. Oh, you know what we could do? Maybe activating ghost text. Oh, but then they're these. Yeah, I can't do that. Never mind. All right, well, that was worth a shot. Did it just delete all my text? It did. Well, that's nice. All right, so changes since checkpoint number 1. Added quests. All right, so I just need to do this. I know I removed the capital A on that one line. And there we go. Save. All right, does that make the page look like a mess or what? Yeah, a little bit. It's okay. Is it worth it learning Colmac? I don't think so, no. I think the way it'd be worth it is if you don't type properly now, then yes. But if you're just looking for a speed improvement, then no, I don't think so. And wrist strain, I guess, is kind of questionable. Found switching between a few different shaped mice when I had wrist pain help me. Yeah, that's why I shouldn't say most people benefited from just exercise. I think ergonomic hardware can help for sure. Just hard to say that it's going to work for everybody. I'd say add some good features and people should have no issue paying $5 or more. You mean for the current thing? Because I'm definitely selling this game. I'm just not selling it yet. And I think it's important to get as much feedback as possible to make sure we're making the right product. I think if I were to sell this current thing, I think this would probably be worth like $1, only because there's maybe an hour of gameplay. And then that's it. And I feel like people would be like, okay, that was a fun demo. Can I play the real game now? But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really, really happy with how things are turning out. There's been some consistent progress. Okay, so I think we're done with that task, right? Update itch.io page, put a new screenshot up, maybe even record a quick video of the game. I don't know about video of the game. I feel like a video is good if we need to convince people to play, and I don't think we need to convince people to play right now. We got like 45 responses last time, and I think the threshold that I need is like 15. So Yeah, I think this is good for now. Maybe add a section somewhere about what's changed. We've done that. Update the skell command to say this. Try checkpoint number 2, and that shouldn't be like that. This we can't do yet because people, well, I guess I can do it at the end of the stream, but I can't do it right this second because people will think it's playable. So I'll just bump this down to here. Okay. Yeah, when I launch it. Yeah. I'm definitely going to sell it when I launch it. 150 words per minute on QWERTY and switching layouts. I don't think I could ever get as fast. You would get to be as fast. It would just take you a very long time. And I've got, like I said, I've got this Colmac thing, and I kept a sheet of how fast I was typing and kept track of like every single typing test I did for months. But this was using, I don't know, this was using like top 200 English words or something for most of this. And then I started switching tests around and keeping track of those. Yeah, so you can kind of see the growth. Stick with the QWERTY layout then. Most PC setups use QWERTY as well. Yeah, although I will say this too, you can jump pretty easily back to a layout that you've used before. It just, every time you do it at first, it's a big jump. And if you do it for like a year or two, then it's less of a jump. So I can still type on QWERTY, although I find myself missing this keyboard when I'm on QWERTY. Went and finished the previous game last week. Oh, Idle Ascendance? This one? Because I'm surprised you did. Yeah, okay. I am surprised you did that. Did you have fun doing it? I feel like this game wasn't very good. I mean, this was, how long did this take? This took 3 weeks to get to this point. But yeah, it was okay. But yeah, it was the foundation for Skeleseller, so I'm still happy we did it. Plus, I'm happy we didn't spend more than 3 weeks making a game that didn't end up having a lot invested into it. It was a bit slow, yeah. Yeah, plus I feel like pretty early on you get to this automation thing, and then it's just like, all right, now what are you doing? You're just positioning your adventurers. So I do like the selling mechanic. I also definitely like the aesthetic of the new game. Although I was never intended to use those graphics for the final game. Okay, update provide feedback button. We've done that. Update this text and this text. What is this? Can I play before then? There will be occasional builds uploaded here on itch. If you're reading this before July 26th, I don't recommend playing the game. Yeah. The last build was uploaded on July 26th. I'm just going to say this now and hope nobody reads this until then. If you play, please provide feedback. There's a link to the feedback form on the itch.io page. I'll just say there's a link to there's a button in the game menu. Press escape to provide feedback. Yeah. Speed running to the boss. All right, then we need to fill this out. What will change between the current playable version and the final launch? The alpha builds are just a taste of the final game. Here's some known notable changes that'll be in the game by final release. There'll be more of everything. You'll be able to choose your adventurers. There should be more gameplay. There'll be sounds and music. There'll be an intro to game. Higher general level of polish. Incorporate your feedback. More animations and effects. Is there anything else that we have planned? We have like 80 issues. Some of these must be for new systems, right? Metrics, that's not going to affect. There'll be autosave. I mean, I guess as autosave is nice. It's probably not worth sharing there. A title screen. I think that's just polish. I think autosave's polish as well. Anything else? Nothing there. Is there anything else? Saving parties. Panel container. No, I think that's practically it as far as what the users would care about. Yeah. I mean, some of those are big, like music is big. But nothing else here is probably super important for players. Yeah. To some extent, that makes me kind of happy because it means, all right, we're on the right track. We're developing a game we know people will like. Some of it is like, oh, there's going to be a lot of work that's not like cool new stuff. Felt to miss an auto walk feature. Yeah, an auto walk feature is pretty much what was done in Skeleseller. And we have this button now in the game, the repeat battle thing. And I think this is great. What I was saying about any sort of software that you develop is that there's certainly a life cycle for it. And it should usually start with some kind of planning or design. And then you get to development, and then you get to some like test and release. Some amount of this just looping over and over and over. And I think whenever you make a release, you should always get feedback. And then your next release probably shouldn't be until you'll get significantly different feedback. Unless the product is fully launched and is already has customers, then you should be doing pretty constant releases. But yeah, we got a lot of feedback from the first one, and a lot of it was like, I'm confused about this, and this. And I'm like, cool, we have a plan to address that, but we just haven't gotten to it yet. Now I think we've addressed enough of it. So is there anything else I need to address here? No, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think polish and music are probably the big ones. So we've updated both of those. Upload the builds, that's something that's got to happen on Friday. So I guess I'll write that here. This will be like Friday stuff. Say directly in the game, this is a very early checkpoint. This is questionable. There are a bunch of people who are going to play this game and be like, why isn't there music? But if I acknowledge it in the game, it means you've got to read that text. And I think I'd rather just get the feedback, hey, the music isn't there. I'd like to hear music. Yeah. I think I'm just going to cross this one out. Is there a way to mark a task as canceled? GitHub, markdown, task list, cancel, task. I know I can just strike through it with tildes, but creating task list, reordering, navigating. Man, there isn't. I was hoping you could put like an O or something inside the list. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, okay, fine. Well, we'll just cross it out. I'd rather just get feedback that there isn't music rather than add a wall of text about the things that aren't there. Make sure any user-facing, whoops, that's, what did I do wrong? Was it 1 tilde? Yes. Oh, no, even that didn't work. Because of the, oh, because of that. There we go. Okay, make sure any user-facing buttons have tooltips. I think I did this for everything in the game. In fact, I think I even did this for... Oh, why is that? Those tooltips should have a darker background. I wonder if you can customize that. Godot tooltip background. It might be in the project settings because each individual control can have a tooltip. There's an offset, a delay. Oh, is there really no way to customize this? Did I even change anything here? No, this is just rename function. Rename this. Where's anything with a tooltip? Where's the town menu? There it is. All right, so here's where tooltips are. Tooltips are literally just text. Oh man, okay, well, can a theme customize that, I wonder? Can you put tooltip in here? Tooltip label. So you can, and then I'm guessing you can set the background color through here. New style box flat. I'm gonna just make this bright red or pink or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's on level up adventurers. That's presumably only going to affect level up adventurers, which would mean I need to apply a theme to everything, which through the power of inheriting themes shouldn't be that bad, but yeah, that worked. So yeah, now this is red, although it's not the background that's red. It's the label that's red. What do you call the other thing there? Tooltip panel. That's what I want. This is what should have this thing. How do we delete this thing? Yeah, there. All right. Tooltip panel. Got it. Here it is. Style box flat. Okay, so we got to make a new one. And in here, if I set this to whatever, pink, sure. Then that should be the whole background of that, right? Yes, good. All right, so we need to apply that to everything. And also not make it pink. Let's revert. How do you, whatever, 0, 0, 0. Something like that, something like that. I don't even need to be stopping the game to test this stuff, so I don't know why I'm doing that. Okay, yeah, that's better. By the way, I have a giant mouse cursor, but there are a lot of things that don't care what size your mouse cursor is. Like this, I pop up a tooltip and it just shows up behind the cursor. That happens in a lot of places. It's like if I hover over some random thing over here. Yeah, like I can hardly even read what it says. You might think, why not just shrink the cursor? But I'm not doing that. Okay, so I want to apply this theme to everything. And I guess town scene would probably be a pretty good place to do it. So we just got to go to the theme that I set on this and save it. Save as resources, panel background. What do we call this? Default theme or like base theme. All I've customized is tooltip labels, which should be the only thing in this file, right? Tooltip panels, sure. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I think it's pretty clear when you open the file. So now what happens if we set this theme over here, quick load the base theme, and then delete it from here? There. Okay, does that apply to everything? No, doesn't apply to anything. What? Think there's a default theme? Oh, that would be great. You are correct. No, wait. Default theme scale? I'm on 4.3. I'm actually on a beta version, 4.3 beta 2, I think. Maybe it's in advanced settings? No, I don't think it's a thing. Any thoughts on 209? Oh, what I was talking about, Darkstorm, was not adding a custom graphic, but just there's a way. Yeah, here, default cursor shape. You can just change it in this drop-down menu. I mean, I'll move my head. But yeah, I was thinking we just pick a different one of these. That's it. I did see the comment. Yeah, I have a note to myself to respond to it at some point. I just saw it right before starting the stream this morning. Yeah, so I'm not sure why this isn't applying to this. Maybe it means that this doesn't inherit the theme. It probably does mean that. I guess canvas layers don't, so I need to put it on this. So theme, quick load, basic. Is that all I need to do? Yeah, that worked. Okay, that works for there, but then I need to do the same thing over here. It's so stupid. Where does the in-game menu even show up? In-game menu. In town. Underneath UI. What? So why wouldn't that work then? Is it not in the panel container? It's not in the panel container. You can't set a theme on these. Oh. Hot reload works on anything you do through Godot usually. So like if I change a label whose text was defined in Godot, it should change directly in the game. But anything that involves recompiling does not work for me. All right, so I think the way I would do this is I need to put a control underneath UI. Anywhere I can check the features roadmap. Just inside this, under the thing that you have to expand. So here. This is all, at least the user-facing stuff that you'd probably care about. Custom and GUI theme. Wait, really? Oh, my bad. Let me go take a look. Oh, that's what custom means. Oh, path to a custom theme. Oh, I would not have named this custom. That does not sound like... Yeah, okay, thank you, AJ. Let me give you a point. There you go. All right, so we just need to go to scenes, resources, theme. There. Change setting will be applied after restarting. Sure. So now we can delete it from everything else. So just clear this. Clear this. Cool. And let's make sure nothing else changed. Yeah, doesn't look like it. All right, so I'm going to run that. I'm also going to write in my notes. Godot. Come back, editor. Godot UI. Do I have something about themes? Surprisingly, no. Although a lot of this is duplicated with this note. Theme editor. Yeah. Also, you can apply a default theme across your whole project using project settings, GUI theme custom. Yeah. Project settings, GUI theme custom. It's literally just the name custom for right now. Yeah. We use fixed logo size and it's twice as small for me. Yeah, I think it's because I'm on a monitor that can do 4K that I have it set to 1080p because I don't want it being different from my other monitor. Although actually, now that I think about it, when I put Godot on that screen, the text looks terrible. What if that's the problem the whole time? I don't know. All right, let's try it out. I guess I already had it running. Well, I guess I'll just close this one then. So it should have... Why is this not working? Where's the game? Okay, good. We got the proper tooltips there. Got them there. And I don't even know where else they show. Not there. No, those are all custom ones. No, none of these would show it. I think it's just these buttons. Okay, well, looks good. Cool. Darken tooltip backgrounds. I'll say built-in tooltip backgrounds. It's atrocious currently, yeah. I've just been struggling with the font stuff so much. I feel like it's... I don't know, it shouldn't be such a big problem. How do you actually determine if the game was previously saved related to the issues? To determine if it's saved, we should just look at what load game does. What am I searching for? Oh, it's called game saver, even though it does loading. All right, yeah. So load checks can load game, which is nothing important. Never mind. It tries to get a file at the save path. So you can just check if file exists at the save path. And then if this can deserialize, then it means that there was a saved game there. But actually what I would probably do is I would just, oh, I guess you'd have to deserialize it in order to check the version. I was going to say I would just check the game version. I wonder if we just save that directly into the file name so we don't even need to parse it. But yeah, checking if the file's there and then checking if it deserializes. There is a problem with that, which is that in the future, we're probably gonna have save file migrations so that we could go from like a V3 to a V4, but we don't have those now. So in the future, trying to deserialize V3 when V4 is current will lead to a crash. Well, sorry, in the future, it won't lead to a crash. It'll just migrate your save file. But we don't have any of that code. So yeah, I guess for now, it's pretty much just check to see if the file exists. Kind of need to check the game version too. No, the game code will know what save file version it's expecting, because we already have that up here. Save version equals 1. So the file that you have saved on disk will be, let's say, save file 3, and then this will be set to save file 4. So yeah, we don't need to pull information from anywhere else. Okay, I think this is done. Move any tasks here on GitHub to a later checkpoint. Yeah, that's gonna be done later. I'll just mark this done now. File another task for user research. I think we're just gonna keep this task and it's in checkpoint 3. Yeah, that's already done. Close out the checkpoint. Go through questions. Yeah, so this is all stuff we have to wait till tomorrow now to do. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, add invisible walls to the shop stall itself. Let's go do that. So we click this, and then the eyedropper tool, and then draw this here. Why is it not working? Is it working? I think it did work. I think I just need to hide the shops. Yeah, it does work. Okay, so where do I have this? I guess we want it like that. Although technically the character could walk here. Yeah, I don't think that should be a barrier. So that's our barrier, which we might as well just fill that in too. Yeah, cool. Okay, we'll do that in all the spots. Done. And done. The bin is its own geometry. Yep. Actually, we could have made the shop its own geometry too, right? Why didn't I do that? Collision shape. Yeah, there's a square around here. We could have just done this. Oh, well, then let's just do that, right? Technically, a character could walk in these pixels, but I don't see a need to do that. So yeah, I think this is probably better. Game came a long way. Thanks. Yeah. Better adjust the bin position. No, I don't think the bin position is a problem. I was just saying it's not tile aligned, so we need a custom collision shape around it, but that's okay. But yeah, I think just changing this would be good. So now I would not need the changes that I made to the town, although I guess they're fine. They're sort of redundant. Well, let's try this out. Yeah, so I'm going to grant most things, add a bunch of workers, add a bunch of customers. Like a lot of these. There, and now they should all avoid. Yeah, nice. That looks a lot better. And they don't just step on top of the shop. That should be happening everywhere, so let's make sure. No one wants to walk over here. Just keep adding more customers and workers until they do. Yeah, looks good. Okay, and then the other one. Yep, looks good. Now, as long as we have all these workers here, let's grant a bunch of items. Go, minions. Make money. I got a quest. There, quest complete. Yeah, if you could walk in, it would be better. Oh, you mean those like couple pixels? I don't think it's really going to make a difference. In fact, I don't even think you'd really notice. Change the money Z label index. I think money probably just shouldn't show above customers. I think we should just delete it. Money shouldn't show above customers, and customers should probably fade out when they run out of money. Or actually, why even have them run out of money right now? Yeah, if they're just going to get replaced. We'll just have 3 customers who are just always there. They're just buying everything. How long have I been programming? I've been coding for quite a long time. What told us LinkedIn is the full amount of time, although it'll take some legwork for you to figure it out. How long did it take to learn the basics? It depends on what you call the basics, but the way I kind of think of like programming basics would be things like variables, control flow, some really basic debugging, and functions, and probably types and stuff. This stuff shouldn't take too terribly long. So let's say like, I don't know, a month or so. So let's say you have no programming knowledge and I'm like, okay, go through a Python tutorial or something like that. And I think I probably wouldn't look at this specific one, but how do they start this stuff? Functions, methods, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think you could start and pretty quickly get something up and running. Oh, here we go. Learnpython.org. Okay, I'm trying to find a thing that actually like lets you start typing Python in. All right, I don't know. All right, anyway, you could always just like download Python and just try things for yourself. So yeah, if you type something like a equals 5, b equals 6, a plus b, that's technically a program. And what's nice about something like Python is that you can just type line by line and keep trying things out. So you can do something like a times 2, which is a to the power of 2, which is 5 squared. And you could do a whole bunch of stuff, right? You can say like hi times a. And just kind of mess around with things. And if you ever type something wrong, like let's say you did, I don't know, this, it'll just tell you, although this won't be probably too understandable at first. Yeah, what's the point of the game? The point, I mean, I guess you mean like what's the game about? So I would say the point of the game is just to have fun, but the game is about running a town and you sell items and you hire adventurers to do battle for you. And it's a very laid back game. Free C# Unity course. Yeah, something like that could probably be good. Oh, I think if you don't know coding, I would probably start with just learning coding and not throwing other layers on top of it just yet. Is the game going to be public or do you need to sign up for a beta? It's going to be public, at least as of Friday. Maybe in a month or two, when we launch the next checkpoint, maybe I have it as a closed beta or something. But I think we just want to maximize feedback. Plus, let's say for whatever reason, people are like, oh man, this is actually really fun right now. And they share it and like 10,000 people download it. That's probably just a good thing, right? Okay, so the invisible walls thing is done. Although not done as invisible walls, but done as an invisible square, which is a little different. But yeah, looks good. And then town scene, nothing should have changed here. So I think I'm just going to revert this because there's like no way to even understand what the diff of this is. Like, who knows what that is? There are a bunch of other tiles somewhere, and I don't care. So delete this. Make shops unwalkable. Okay. Done. Money shouldn't show above customers. Customers should fade out. Customers shouldn't fade out. All right, yeah, let's stop showing the money label, and let's also stop deleting customers. So customer, we'll just turn off the money label. No, you know what? Yeah, I'll turn it off. Then we'll go to the customer code itself, money label. There should be no problem with still updating this. Yeah, there isn't. And then what did I want to do? I want to give customers an infinite amount of money. So new money component 100. What is this? A double? A long. Long dot max value. There we go. Now they can't run out of money. Now I know I say can't, and the savvy viewers out there will be saying, but wait a second, if you leave this open long enough, won't they run out of money? Yes, they will. And then one new one will spawn with practically infinite money. So there, now those same 3 customers, which is what, 2 orange-haired people and a brown-haired person? Oh no, they're 4. Okay, 4 customers. Those 4 customers should just always be there. So no matter how many items I grant, they will just keep buying them. I can even speed up my players some more here. There. I can add in more workers. Is this not doing anything? I think that's broken. What's going on? Add workers not doing anything. I wonder if it's because of cloning. It is because of cloning. Why though? That's weird. Okay, bug can't add a worker if you have cloning. Huh. Wasn't that the invisible wall change you just reverted? I deleted the... Oh, yeah, you're right. I thought I undid that. I didn't undo that. Yeah, my bad. You're right. You're right. More feedback is better. It'll give you an excuse to make some beautiful graphs. I think it would be cool to run a little bit more intel on the data, but in general, I think the feedback is pretty actionable. People are like, I was confused by X, and then we have to be like, make X less confusing, or I want this in the game, and then we have to just, file an issue for that. When the customers change, don't they have a different appearance? If so, I'd let them have many, so they cycle appearance. Yeah, they do have different appearances. I think the easiest thing for checkpoint number 2 is just have the customers stay the same the whole time. Also started programming more seriously about 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, have them have less money. Yeah, but in the future we're gonna have customers act differently, and I think it's a little confusing when you see a customer disappear. Also, people have commented in the past that like, why even have customers have a limited amount of money if a new one's just gonna replace them? And it's like, well, the plan is for customers to eventually have sort of more human behavior. You go to a store, you're not necessarily gonna buy everything that you can afford in the store. So hide how much money they have. Maybe they do want some items, maybe they don't want some items. Programming long code like your game or a snake game seems too complicated. Will this change? Oh yeah, that'll definitely change. Think about it in terms of how you learned math. At one point in your life, you didn't even know what a number was. And then you learned about numbers, but you didn't know what addition was. And then you learned about addition, but you didn't know square root or integrals or pick any topic, geometry. It's the same thing with programming. You build and build and build on the knowledge that you have. And generally, that learning doesn't stop for pretty much your entire career. And part of the reason why is technology changes a lot, but also just it's rare that you'll see a team or a company using the same technology for like 20 plus years. Hey, Titan. You fix the funky font issue? Sort of. It's really just a band-aid fix. So I want to approach that again later. Do you intend to make them physically leave the town? Would be fun and less strange. So there were 2 ideas. One is have them just walk into a portal that takes them somewhere. And portals would be the way of explaining that. And the second thing would be like, okay, you can only scroll the map this far. What if there were bridges over the water and you saw customers just sort of walk off the map? I think that would be cool too. So I don't know what we're going to do, but eventually we'll handle that. Okay, anyway, this worked. So this is just for checkpoint 2 at least. Make customers everlasting. This is really just for checkpoint 2, but customers now have infinite money and don't render their money labels. This is to alleviate confusion. Wait, it was for one other reason too, right? No, I think it was just that. Alleviate confusion until we have real customer logic. Okay. Tackle some of these bugs. They leave through the entrance. Yeah. I think something like that could be cool. Then the state would make them wander there in the adventurers. We could affect some of that. I don't think it's worth it for checkpoint number 2. In fact, I guess the portal is only there for loading saved games and for cloning workers. Let's tackle a couple of these other bugs, and I'll probably take a quick break. So other bug was this dialogue for whatever reason. When you open, close, open it, it does this. I don't know how that's even possible. Let's take a look at it. Skill tree is everything's inside of a panel. So how could it? How could this not resize properly? Does anything kind of dislodge it and get it to, no. That does. And how do we show or hide the skill tree? Does it happen when you do this? Yes, it does. Town key T skill toggle. There it is. Yep. Toggle skill tree visibility. All we're doing is changing the visibility. Pretty straightforward. Do we have a visibility listener here? No. Yeah, no, we don't. Are all changes pushed? I think I'll play with the shop and storeroom walls. They are now. Yeah. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen this happen before. So the panel isn't being resized. Let's launch this through Godot itself so that we can take a look at the scene tree. Because maybe we'll learn something through that. My guess is what we'll see is that the panel is not as large as its child node. But I don't know for sure. So let's just click this button a couple times. There we go. And then let's go over to remote and UI, skill tree, panel container. So panel container size 259 and the margin container size 327. I don't know how that's possible. I shouldn't have to do something to compute the size. 311. Yeah, let me just manually bump this up and see what happens. Weird. Yeah, weird. I've never seen that before. Godot container smaller than its children after showing. Shrink it to the size of the child controls. A zero vector? Wait. You can do that? Try this out. Panel container, layout, transform, 0. Oh, you can't really, I guess. I could do that in a visibility detection thing. Let's try it out just to see if that fixes it. Although this may not be a smart way of doing it. So we'll just put this in the skill tree. When the visibility changes, if is visible in tree, then size, actually it's a panel container size. Where's that? I don't have that. Git node panel container dot size equals vector2.0. Okay, does that fix it? And do I like that fix? I don't think I like the fix, but let's try it at least. Okay, the first time it was gigantic, and then afterward it definitely doesn't seem to work. Then again, this is not typically how you would do this sort of thing, I guess. I wonder if you say custom minimum size. I also don't think this will work. I love programming, very often saying this myself. How's it working like this? That you like it? I mean, it's a lot of interesting problems that you're solving when you're programming. I think it's natural to like that. It's like saying I love doing puzzles or something. No, that still doesn't work. Although, like I said, I wouldn't have been happy with that anyway. Parent container. Oh, man. Have I run into this before? A container's not shrinking properly. Still puzzles you at times? I mean, that's a really good thing then. You really found what you like. I think that's amazing. If you want a container to shrink to the size of its children, you probably just need to wrap your container inside one that does shrink to its children. Oh, I need this to all be inside of a VBox container? I'm still not sure what the best layout for this stuff is, but I think this will at least fix this. And thanks to us doing what we did, with the unique names, we shouldn't have to change anything else, I hope. But let's search for panel container. Nope, yep, should be fine. All right, let's try running that. I think that should totally take care of the problem. I'm so glad I write notes on this stuff too. Yeah, I fixed it. Easy peasy. Fix bug with skill tree height. It wasn't shrinking to the size of its children after being shown. So I put it in a VBox container. Nice. All right, next, can't add a worker if you have cloning. I don't know why that would be the case, but let's go find out. Town worker create. Oh, reapply player properties. That's probably what does it. On ability level changed. Oh, right. Man, the cloning ability knows how to delete and create workers so that you can only, like, this dictates your level of this. Oh, you know what we could do then? Okay, this is this is cheating, but what we could maybe do is set the level of the cloning ability beyond its maximum level. It's probably incredibly stupid. In fact, is the max level even used anywhere? It might only be used by the skill tree. Let's find out. Max level on left click. Yeah. Yeah, so I think we can just change that. This is really stupid. I just want to reiterate that. What is it called? Add worker? Create worker. Okay, so this can't be create worker anymore. This needs to be like modify your cloning ability. Player abilities dot get ability dot level equals 100. Okay, let's try that. This is really dumb, but yeah, let's see if it works. So we first need to grant 1 point into it so it's not null, and then we click create worker, and it should create like 100 workers. Uh-oh. Oh, it worked. Neat. Why did that lag so badly? Why did that lag so badly? Let me try that again. It's instantiating 100 scenes on the same frame, so possibly that's why, but I wouldn't have expected it to take that long. It's like a 7-second delay. Yeah. It's going well, Chris, and Kip Ogre rated, for which I am very grateful. I'm surprised it takes that long. This is the Mr. 7-second delay. Hey, banana. I think I know what's going on, though. I think maybe there's some loop being called here. Create worker calls reapply player abilities. And every time the ability level of this thing changes, it is, what, also doing that? How does it even know the level changed? I guess base ability has a listener. Or just a setter here. It doesn't. It's strange. It's strange. Let me try something else here. What if I don't call that function? What happens? Am I doing it in a loop? I don't think so. Although maybe there was some recursion here from the event listeners that I have, but I'm not positive. Let's just see. Okay, yeah, that didn't cause any issue. So it's create worker that kicks this whole thing off. And then what does this do? It calls reapply player abilities, which goes to on level changed, which then goes to cloning, which goes to here. It says get num clones. This will be level 100. So the expected number of workers is like 102 or something. Then get how many we have. And if it's less than the amount, then call create worker. Yeah, I think it's just calling create worker that's slowing this down. Huh, interesting. Although I guess every time we call create worker, we're calling reapply player abilities, which is then calling into this again. And then some of these are removing the workers that we're creating. Okay, I see now. I see. So we need to do this differently. By the way, this is all a hack to begin with. So I think this is maybe kind of a dumb idea. Yeah, but I see what's going on. I created probably like 10,000 workers, or that many creations and deletions were probably happening. And the way I would get this to work, I guess smoothly, is I just get rid of this line, which would then break everything. But we can at least try it. Should give me 100 workers. Oh wait, it won't call reapply though. It should give me 1 worker. Yeah, shows that I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it gave me my 1 worker. Except for now my skill point should show up as level 99, yeah. Oh wait, there it goes. Oh nice, and that didn't lag at all. So all we need to do is set the level to 100 and then call level changed, I think. Or I could just code this the real way. I could just keep track of how many like debug workers you've gotten. Yeah. I don't think that's worth fixing. This is just a debug function. So I'm just gonna undo all this. But I'll file that as a change for later. So bug can't add a worker if you have cloning. This is because cloning will cut down the number of workers you have to the level of cloning itself. The proper way to handle this be to have something like a debug num workers in town that can go up / down. Actually, I guess it could just go up. Then expose get num workers to cloning that returns the non-debug workers. That will probably work, but I'm not doing that right now. That's not important. The z-index issue again. Yeah, so I wanted to look at this briefly because I think I know how they expect you to fix this, but I'm not sure. So if we go into the town, so we have trees and stuff here, and if we add in a sprite, let's put in, do we have any individual characters we can put in? Shopkeep, yeah, let's put the shopkeep in over here. Okay, so we wanted this to show beneath one of the trees. Then I think what we would need to do is just add a tile map above the character, like this. I know there's a z-index, but I want to try this out, and then I want to put, where is the layers? Okay, yeah, just delete all this stuff. Okay, now let's go to, this is not how you draw, right? No, it is not. Base tiles, alternative tiles. I don't know how many layers now. Add layer, layer 0. Got it. All right, so now we're going to put a tree right there. Yeah. So yeah, I think the way we could get this to work is by just changing the, like making a new tile map layer. And we're supposed to switch to individual layers anyway. It'd be easier to check how many current workers and cap stop creating workers. Well, so here's what's happening. That button you saw, create worker, this is a debug button. So even if you're at the maximum number, you should be able to go beyond the maximum number. And that alone is, I mean, pretty much what the problem is. But then the reason that the player can create workers is they have this cloning ability, which can be up to level 2. And each level gives you 1 clone. And the way this works is it says if you are at more than the number of workers you should have, delete the extras. So this debug button doesn't work anymore because cloning caps it. So yeah, we need to either make it so cloning can go beyond level 2, which is not really the right way of doing it, or just make it so that debug workers are separate from the cloned workers. So I'll just do this separate from the clone workers part. Yeah, so anyway, I think Darkstorm, if we just do that, it should be fine. And since they want us to switch to tile map layers anyway, by the way, that's probably why they want us to switch to tile map layers, because then you can arrange everything in your scene the way you want. So you could put ground layer at the top of the scene and then all your characters and then like tree layer beneath it. So I think that's what we have to do. And I think then we just won't have a Z-index issue anymore. And it took me this long to finally test this out to see if that was correct. And yeah, it looks like it's correct. Unfortunately, I will not be changing that right now either. Okay, so I wanted to get through this list. Not that one, this list. And we have these 4 things. This is easy enough to fix. I can just take care of that tomorrow. This, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with things. So I think what we'll do is I'll probably take a break and I will come back and we'll try out something else. Maybe this and maybe the bitmap font. Try a bitmap font. Is this a spiritual successor of Stardew Valley? This is, the graphics look very Stardew-esque, but they're from a pack called Super Retro World. Yeah, like if you take a look at, well, not that one. I always pulled the wrong thing. If you take a look at this, it is kind of Stardew-esque. More like if Stardew were on the Game Boy, I'd say. Game Boy Color. And then there are a lot of custom graphics on top of this, like the enemies that we have and the other characters. But they still look like the Super Retro World stuff. Anyway, for those of you who have not seen this, we're about to play a little game while we're on break. So have fun. You can just type join in chat to join. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hey again, everybody. All right, close the game. So there's a feature on Twitch, shoutouts. And when someone shouts you out, you get something on your dashboard that just says like name shouted you out. And then it says something like 2 hours ago. And that's it. There's no link. There's no way to tell where the shout out happened. And the 2 hours ago is really almost unhelpful because you'll go to their channel and it'll say something like VOD 8 hours long, ended on July 12th or something like that. Is there any way to figure out why somebody shouted you out, basically? Like, is there a way to find out? Thanks, Myth. Best of luck with the game release. I appreciate it. Oops, what did I just close? Maybe just ask them. So I like hunted through a person's VOD and I could not find this. And it actually made me wonder if it was a glitch or something. And the person's never said anything in my channel. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I was just curious about this. I accidentally closed my YouTube chat. Not that anyone's ever watching on YouTube. VOD might not capture shoutouts. It does because I see other shoutouts there. Yeah. Okay, so this next thing that I wanted to do, I need to, hang on a second, engage privacy mode. I need to look at Discord. I don't know what I have open here. Let me take a look. Game team, open in browser. Okay, cool. All right, so this graphic. This is a slash graphic. So imagine like a sword slashing. This is what would show up on the enemy that you slashed. So I want to save this. Downloads. And when it comes to applying it, let's go make a new scene. We just need an animated sprite, I guess. Do I want anything else? Yes, I do. I want an animation player. Okay, well, let's use both. Slash. Save this as slash. All right, sprite frames, new sprite frames. We got to go plug in the graphics. Just close out of all this stuff. Downloads slash Skeleseller game assets. Do we have battle? We don't have battle. We're going to need something new here. Battle. Guess there's some space in there. I was thinking, do I want an effects thing or something? All right, next, let's go take that graphic, put that over here. That is not how you do that. Let's trash that. And then click the correct button. And then what size is this graphic? Each frame is, oh, probably 16 by 24. No. How big is the overall graphic? Good info. 96 by 24. Okay, so 24 by 24. Yeah, they're just squares. 24 by 24. We need to know that because you need to plug it in here. 24. There we go. Then we just drag across all of these, add frames. Okay, so how fast should this be? Faster than that. Maybe slower than that. And not auto looping. I guess you can't stop the... How do you stop it from looping? Huh. I don't know how to stop that. Next to FPS. Oh yeah, thank you. Thanks, Avatar. And then so we get a clear picture of what's going on. Yeah. AI upscale all my, 3 pixels that you've got. Turns into a perfect replica of my passwords. All right, so now when I hit play, now we have to hit this button, I guess. I feel like I want a frame of it going away, maybe. Let's add in an animation player, though. So we'll make a new one, new animation. It's called as default, I guess. Add track, property. Actually, no, it should call a method. It should just call the play method and then wait for it to be done. How do we do that? Huh. I don't know. No, there might be a way to do it. Godot animation player, wait for the animation to finish. Can you listen to signals inside of animation player? I know that was for an unrelated thing. Well, if I do, okay, let's do this. Let's put a method call here. And let's call... What in the world? I did this for the other one. How do I not know what I'm doing for this one? Huh. Don't you already use this inside the zap animation? I don't play an animated sprite though, that's the thing. But I do have a method call functions queue free. Oh, you add that. I see how that works. Okay, so add call method, this, then insert key, free. Is there a way to wait for a signal though? Animation player, wait for signal. How to emit a signal, await timer signal. Animation finished. This might not be possible. General purpose playback of animations contains a dictionary of animation library resources, custom blend times. Example, non-trivial timing. Maybe there isn't a way to do that. Oh, well, anyway, I guess it doesn't really matter. Because we could just add a script that's going to wait for the animation finish and then do whatever we would have done in here anyway. So I guess it's not that hard. I just thought there might be a UI way to do it. So what am I even doing then? I just want to add a fade out and then have it free. So, okay, pretty easy. Property, modulate, not like that. Modulate. Okay, insert key. Insert key. Set this one to be 0. And then free it at any point after that. It doesn't matter when. All right, now unfortunately we can't. What's going on? What happened here? What do these things mean? Oh, this needs to be higher? Oh, I want it to fade out over like 1 second anyway, but yeah, I just didn't realize how zoomed in I was. And now for whatever reason, I don't know how to zoom in. I could have sworn I could do it through the mouse and not through this. Whatever. Okay, let's try that. Play. Should just fade out. Yep. That took way too long to fade out. In fact, I want this at the beginning. You can put it in negative. Oh, you can command scroll. It just didn't seem to work the first time. All right, that's at 0. Maybe take a 1/5 of a second to fade out. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. And then free up after that. Oh, you have to be... Okay, it's just regular scroll, but you have to be pointing at this thing. I got it. And then free after that. Cool. Now, we don't want this to autoplay, but we do need it to play. So we'll go add in a script. Scene scripts. All right, this is going to be like the simplest of scripts. What just happened? I wanted that code. Yeah. So animation finished. plus equal foo, I guess. And then I'll make a function here that starts the animation player. So get node animation player dot play default. Okay, I think that's it. Didn't signal show results on that page? Did it? If so, I just missed it. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Emitted when a queued animation plays after the previous animation finished. Animation changed. This is what's emitted from here, though. I wanted to see if we could listen to signals. And I don't think there is. But yeah, you're right, Oatmeal. First time viewer, I play around with recording and editing VBA in Excel. Totally lost, would love to learn more about writing code. I'm happy to answer any questions you have, Pokemon. Generally, a lot of what I'm doing today is like very light coding. And what I would typically do is like what we did the other day is we handled this auto repeat feature of the end battle screen. So there was a lot of logic in there. But what I'm doing right now is like play an animation, stop playing an animation. I'm still happy to answer questions about that too. I'm just saying I think this is more of a mix of like I'm editing documents and sites and animations and stuff. A plugin does a highlight on unused code. That is something called Error Lens. I have a video I did on a bunch of different plugins. The one that people seem to like the most when I use it is the VS Code eval. So like, let's say I went into all enemy data here, and let's just, I'm not going to modify it here, but let's say I copied all this out and I was like, you know what? We need these life values to be twice as high as they are. I can put a ×2 in here and then evaluate them all. Or say like, you know what? They should be 1/10 as much as they are, and change stuff like that. That's super helpful. I really like that. And that comes in handy quite a lot. That's also mentioned in the video, but that's VS Code eval. Okay, so I think this will just work. Let's go get one of these and pull the... Why? How is this typing a T? Oh. Okay, so now we need to create the slash animation. I'm going to do this through... Quick Strike is going to be too much. Crush, maybe? Crush will probably still be too much. Let's put on Crush anyway. Yeah, so I want to do this the same place I did this for Zap. Seriously. Lightning zaps. Here it is. We'll put this in Crush. Where do we deal damage? Here it is. Sure thing, Snow Day. Hey again, Caleb. Are they custom made? Custom made, and you don't run out of keys. It's sort of custom made. The base keyboard is called a corn, and you could find the schematic for it online. I modified it slightly, but not significantly. And the run out of keys part, yeah, you only have 36 keys. So I say this in the video where I talk about it, but the alphabet is 26, and then there are 10 number keys. So if you just had those things, you'd just be out of keys, and you wouldn't have things like space and backspace and anything else. So you need keys to do multiple functions. And the way you typically do that is with layers. So I do suggest watching this video if you want to learn more, because I talk about it all in there. All right, so all we want to do is make a sprite for slash and add that here. It is actually an animated sprite, although that part doesn't really matter. In fact, it doesn't matter what this thing is at all. It could just be a node for all we care. And then it should free itself. So this is scenes slash what? Should be in battle. I don't think I even saved it, did I? I didn't. No, I did. Where did I save it? Where are you? You're just in scenes. Okay, you don't belong there. Oh, we gotta go move you then. Scenes slash go up to battle. Okay, now I think we need to close out of that. Maybe we don't. I don't even know what I changed in the towns, so just don't save. Gotta run. Kids keep me busy. Definitely stop back. Okay, cool. Yeah. And just let me know if you have any questions. Totally fine. I don't mind interrupting what I'm doing to answer people in chat most of the time. Okay, so now this is scene slash battle slash 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 slash. Not a mistake. And that's it. We should just see a slash effect on the target now. And I think it should be centered. And it should autoplay. So yeah, let's see what that looks like. Now we just need to get the warrior into a battle. So grant most things and then start battle with just the warrior. And now we take a look. Does the slash graphic show? Oh, nice. It does. That looks really cool. Oh man, awesome. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Let's see that again. There's no animation on the warrior, but there is an animation on this. It does look cool. Wow, neat. Yeah, so now out of curiosity, and this is, like I said, almost certainly going to be too much, but what if we put this on quick strike, which happens every like fifth of a second? It'll just be constant slashing. Yeah, here. Let's try that out. Got a nice pencil arriving. Oh, this looks fancy. It's also cost fancy. What makes this so expensive? Just the looks? Is it forged in a mountain? Okay, check this out. Just non-stop slashing. Look at that. I think it's too much. I think it almost makes it look like the enemy just has this weird orange graphic on it. But I'm going to debug grant a bunch of points. And oh, that is matching the... Ooh, that's a bug. This shouldn't show that you're in battle. If I click repeat battle, this turns red. Yeah, I just never tested that before. Bug, the skill tree party members show red if they're in battle. We should just have an option to turn that off, which should probably disconnect the listeners. Oh, I don't think it's... yeah, I don't... I'm really just teasing. If you enjoy something and you're okay spending the money on it, by all means, spend the money on it. I don't write at all, so I probably would spend at most like 10 cents on a pencil at this point. And if it gives me splinters every time I use it, then I'd get one splinter in my life. See a small problem with this animation? Bottom right corner should probably not be drawn. Bottom right corner should probably not be drawn. I am not sure what you mean by that. But also, I want to see what this looks like when I super speed this up. Oh, yeah. That's ridiculous. So it definitely can't go on the rogue's ability. Or if it did, it would have to get slightly randomized. In fact, we probably should slightly randomize it. Let's put that into slash directly. Let's make sure this works in the editor first. Then I think, like I said, I'm probably just going to leave this on crush for now. We can arrange it later. Randomly flip it. Yeah, that would work. I do think we need something pretty subtle, though, for quick strike. Did I close it? I did, yeah. Okay, so if I rotate you, do you look good? Yes, you do. Okay, good. So then that's all I need to do. Look like the you won the battle overlay popped up before the slash or death animation finished. Would it look better if it finishes the animation first and pops up with the win-lose overlay? Yeah, you're definitely right, Runner. And I'm going to just copy paste what you said. Just put it in here and then address that later. I appreciate it. I'll give you a point. All right, so like I said, we can just rotate this randomly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I did in Zap. Just copy paste all of this, put this into slash. So the rotation can be probably not as extreme. What does 20 degrees look like? That roughly. So if we played this, I think that's fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, sure, 20 degrees. Scale Just out of curiosity, what if I set the scale to 2 here? What would that look like? And then position changing ever so slightly. Yeah, let's try that out. It's going to be gigantic. Anything other than multiples of 90 might make it look weird. I don't know. You could sort of imagine like slashing like at any angle, right? All right, now we got to get the warrior into a battle. Let's see it. Gigantic slash effect. I love it. But I'm not going to have it say that way. So let's randomize it. Let's have it be like a very tiny difference. Yeah. So now it goes somewhere between 80% and 100% of its normal size. Everything else looks pretty good. And then let's do another couple things. Let's make it so that battle system. Oh man, that's so annoying. Deal damage. All right, watch this. Are you ready? We're going to just not have anything take damage. Done. That way, the battle will last forever. Just thinking about the artifacts. Can't really rotate pixel. Oh, I see what you're saying. I think for graphics like this, it should be okay. Because they show up so quickly that you probably won't notice the artifacts. And it would just look like part of the effect anyway. But yeah, that's a good point, Dark. Did you do all the pixel art? I did none of the pixel art because I'm very, very bad at drawing. So most of the artwork at this point was done by someone we don't even know, just online, who's selling their graphics. And then an increasingly large portion is on my Quickie Joe, who's been doing these enemies and the characters that are in the game. These characters. I really, really like this artwork. I think this is great. I think it fits the theme, the casual aspect of the game. It's very colorful. All right, I don't even know if I'm testing something right now or if I forgot to rebuild, but let's try this out. So this should do no damage now. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. So let's just watch this for a little bit. Do these slash graphics look good? Sometimes they miss, by the way, so it doesn't always show up. I really should get rid of the miss chance. I should also just move the camera so we can see when it misses. I think when they look small, it doesn't look good. I don't think I should change the scale. No, that was tiny. How is that so tiny? Oh, I reversed. Oh my God. This was supposed to be 2, and this was supposed to be 8. That way it's 80 to 100%, not 20 to 100%. Bad at drawing, bad at writing. What else are you bad at? Well, for your sake, you better hope I'm bad at banning people. Take that VIP right away. Be gone in an instant. All right, grant most things. Let's put the warrior back into battle. Uh-oh. Just crashed. I have a feeling this is just a Mac thing. I really hope it is, because I don't think there's anything I'm doing that's causing this to crash. I am bad at it. Yeah, well, watch this. Done. No, I have pretty much one rule for moderators in my chat, which is don't jokingly ban or purge people, because it ruins the chat history. All right, let's see if that's any better. So it should be 80 to 100% scale, slightly random rotation, but it's only 20 to negative 20 degrees. Yeah, every once in a while this misses. I think this looks pretty good. Yeah. Unfortunately, the skill name is called Crush, so I think it would be more of an impact effect, not a slash effect. But I don't think we can put the slash onto Quick Strike unless we made it like really tiny and really randomize the location. Let's try that out, actually. So this is what looks good for the warrior. I'll just comment this out. Looks good for warrior. Let's do one that looks good for the rogue, which would be a very tiny scale. So maybe like, let's just not have any randomness at all. No, we kind of want some randomness in the scale. 0.05 plus 0.2. Yeah. And then the position would need to be randomized a little bit more. So let's just say const float. Yeah, offset equals 2. This is offset, and this is offset times 2. And let's change the offset to 5. Let's try that out. Also puts a ban count. Yeah, although I think if you saw as a moderator someone's a VIP and they've been banned, you'd probably be like, the VIP is probably more recent. Put this effect on all melee hits. You mean for now? I guess we only have 2 melee hits anyway. Only the cleric doesn't really have any animations. Okay, those are really tiny slashes, but actually it kind of works. I think it needs to be bigger than that. Maybe 0.4. Like, it's like poking the enemy. It's still not great. I agree, yeah. I don't think it's a good idea, which is why it's one of my few rules. All right, start battle. I can see this working. Yep. It's getting there at least. Let's speed up the slashes now. The problem with the rogue is the rogue always targets the enemy with the lowest health. So if they target an enemy once, they're almost certainly targeting it the next frame and the next frame and the next frame, and they're the fastest attacker in the game. Maybe just a tiny bit bigger. Okay, is this good enough? I kid. Let's set it to that. More like a gun than a sword. I guess when it's a very tiny graphic, it's kind of hard to tell, but at least something is happening. I think having some visual feedback is good. I guess as I'm scaling this up, I should change the offset. Maybe it should start fading out before it's done finishing the animation. Is there an attack speed mod? Just for quick attack there is, if that's what you're talking about. Oh, well, I guess you could also... The cleric has haste. Makes him act 20% fast. Wait, no, that's cooldown. Yeah, that's what attack speed is. Yeah. Yeah, so yes, there is. It's whatever haste applies. Probably called haste buff. Yeah, haste buff. Do you alternate the slashes with an inverted version? Kind of like an X pattern? Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah. I think that could work. I think that's what Dark was maybe trying to say earlier. I thought it was just like randomly invert it. But yeah, we could just alternate. Bool slash direction equals... Actually, whatever. There. Slash faces right. Cool, engages with you more as you zoom in on specific battles. The zooming is something I'm doing at the OS level, just to be clear. So that's not something that actually exists in the game. But yeah, I also like it. I think it's good. Okay, so here's what we do. We do slash dot flip H, which means this now needs to be a node 2D. No, that doesn't have a flip H. Well, animated sprite does. So fine, we'll just make it an animated sprite. Flip H equals this. There we go. Okay. So now it'll alternate slash directions, which probably matches what you'd expect. Don't you have to get node first? Did I mess something up? I think it should just work. Let's try it out. Yeah, nice. It's working. Neat. And that's quick strike. So what I think we should do is move this into slash itself. So it'll be like public. Actually, is there a reason to do that? No, there isn't really a reason to do that. It's already type safe. I don't see a problem with this. Plus, nothing else is going to set this. And if we're going to do this for all melee attacks, then I think we should have 2 different varieties of this. There should be like public void set slash variety. Bool is small. Yeah. So this is if is small. And then change the offset to be 4, because I didn't like that. And then if it's large, then we'll do this one. Maybe met someone from Kazakhstan while working at Google. I exclusively worked remotely, so I met very few people. So no, probably not, because I think I could probably like list the names of every single person I met. All right, does this change too much? I guess this is the same no matter what. I can just go into ready. The scale is what changes. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. Then put this into ready. Then delete all of this. Okay. I think that's pretty good. So now slash will set this to be, or not slash, quick strike. Oh my God. I can't stand that. Quick strike will set this to be true. And we'll rename it. Oh, now it has to be slash. Is it that? Yeah. So not set slash variety, but like set slash size. Yeah, there. Okay. And then crush, we'll set it to large. And this needs to be this. Good. And then we should just move that as a static function into slash itself, and then we're good. And probably make the constructor private, or the set, whatever. I don't care. I know what I'm saying. I'm just not saying it. So that's the rogue. They're attacking left, right, left, right. The warrior should just attack to the right. Yeah, and it's larger. Good, good, good. This is all looking great. Let's go just finalize this with that one change that I mentioned. So we're going to have a, I don't know if static functions go above or below. Public static slash create slash bool is small. And then we need to take it from here. Huh, weird. Switching through that tab seemed to work strangely. Return slash is small. Okay, set this to private. Will that work? I don't know if you can set the position of things before it's been added to the scene. We'll find out pretty soon. So target.add slash.create. There. And then for the rogue, quick strike. I want this to be true. Cannot implicitly convert. Oh, I see. There. All right, let's try it. Should be able to as long as it's happening on the same frame. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Did I add that twice? I think I added that twice. Well, it won't really be super obvious because it'll just fade out at a different opacity, I guess. Yep, that's working. And now we want the warrior. Cool. This is great. Oh, wait. Oh. Yeah, all melee hits. I forgot about enemies. I guess enemies have no effect on you right now. Maybe enemies should also use slash. I didn't think about that. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, it's because of the duplicated thing that I had. All right, well, whatever. Let's go add this to basic attack as well. Crush, basic attack. So the enemies will do it to you. What happened there? There. Nice, nice, nice. By the way, this is only, what, a day or two of these sorts of tasks? In fact, it was really just kind of a day of streaming it. But when we get close to launching for real, it's going to be like, hey, does anyone have any nitpicks about the game? And then we just try to go address those, I think. All right, so now the bat should also be doing this to you. They'll show up larger. Yep, nice. Hi, you created this game? Yeah, well, me and a couple other people. All right, that's looking good. So now let's start a gigantic battle and see what happens. So we're going to edit this to be Forest 2, which I think is the largest battle. So, okay, yeah. I think the big graphic is a little too large. But randomizing it was definitely important. And wow, the warrior takes a lot of hits. Did you do this full time? Yeah, so this is my job essentially. Oh, thanks. Totally just beat me to it. He's too good. Oh man, look at the lightning zaps thing. I forgot about that. That looks awesome. Whoa, neat. Yeah, it's once every 5 seconds, I think. Anyway, what I was going to say is my schedule generally looks like this. Monday, Wednesday, Friday is like 7 hours of streaming. Then Tuesday and Thursday should be for other things, but they've mostly just been for Skeleseller, but not streaming it. But as of next week, that's going to change. We're going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday is going to be music creation because we got to make the music for this game. And then Tuesday and Thursday is going to be catch up for like regular life stuff. I've been doing a lot of like nights and weekends kind of time. Looks better and better. I think there's one more change I want to make, and I talked about it earlier, but I didn't actually do it, which is in here. I think this should start animating. Where is it? This should start animating the opacity before the animation's done, which wouldn't be easy to do. We need to like make the first 2 frames in animation and then know that it's finished, start up the next animation, and also the animation player. Yeah, that's just a Mandela effect, yeah. It was always Skeleseller. Because before I even made the name public, that's how I had it written down, was Skeleseller. Oh, wait a second. Oh, the last frame sticks around for as long as this takes to fade out. That's why. Oh, so what I should do? Okay. I know what I need to do. I need to set this to autoplay, and then just align the animations myself. This also makes slash a much easier thing to deal with. So we don't need this stuff, this or this. Yeah. Now, how long does this take? It's playing out at 40 frames per second. So it's 2/3 of a second. And it hits the 4th frame at 1/2 of a second. And I had this time to be 0.2 seconds. So I want this to go from like that maybe. See how that looks. I don't even know how to do this. Yeah, I can't do this. I need both of these to play at once, which only happens in the game. Well, let's try it out. I animate myself too. I mean, I guess I can animate things, but I'm animating them by controlling the individual frames, not by drawing anything. So if I have that graphic open up, yeah, this. So Quickie Joe made this graphic, which I could not have done. And all I'm doing is splitting it up and yeah, okay, good. So there's no real skill involved in this kind of animation. There's skill involved in what Quickie Joe did. I cannot do that. All right, so let's see if this looks better. We'll go into one of those gigantic battles again. Let's go to forest, click, click, click. Okay, and I want to zoom in on the main characters here. No, it's taking too long to fade out now. Did I do the math on that wrong? 40 frames per second. Or wait, no, what was I talking about? 10 frames per second. No, it's 4/10 of a second. Oh yeah, I did do the math wrong. Wow, that's really easy math too. Yeah, 4/10 of a second, and I wanted this to take. Okay, so at 4/10, so we go from here to here. My bad. I'm generally pretty good at math. I just wasn't really thinking. All right, is that better? I think it's looking good. Yeah, I think it's looking good. Okay, I think that's it. I think it's the final change I wanted to make to this. Now that I say that, it would be kind of cool to have this be white and then modulate it based on the attack. It shouldn't be that hard to do, right? Can you just, like, one of these things should do it, shouldn't it? Hue saturation. Can't I just delete this? Yeah. And then I could tint it myself, right? Oh man, the trippiest thing is that when you do this, it cuts all these colors down to gray too. And since the UI is already gray in the background, it makes it look like the whole screen went desaturated. Hey, cat like. And thanks. Yeah. I kind of want to do that. I don't know. It's at least an idea for the future, but yeah, we just do something like that and then tint it. In fact, I guess we could kind of get that effect by just changing the hue right here. Wait, that's not the way I want to do that, right? There's some other way to do this. I don't remember how. I think it's this one. No, I don't remember. I thought there was another way to control this stuff. Hue chroma. Not that. Oh, this is the way I think. Yeah. This does it. So imagine this effect, not like a rainbow slash, but like a blue one or a green one or a red one, depending on the attack. Even a gray one for like a sword hit. I think that could be cool. I think that's something we should do later though. So file task to make slash graphic change color. And then what is that menu called? Hue dash chroma. Yeah. Like the hue chroma menu in GIMP. Time-lapse individual layers. The index only affects the other layers, not other objects. Oh, nice. Well, congratulations. You should put a giant tree in the middle of the game just to celebrate. So this is the slash graphic. This is the slash scene. Why is the zap scene different? I didn't do anything. What does this think I did? It just moved the animation somewhere else? Nope, not checking you in. Coincidentally, there is a giant tree sprite pack. There is, yes, and we have no other use for it. Now's your chance. Now's your chance to sneak into the game and hope nobody notices a giant tree there. Private bool slash faces right. Yeah, I think it's gonna be obvious enough from what this is because there are only 2 lines of code that use it. So like, oh, it's just controlling the flip. Pretty easy. Battle system. We are not checking this in. Imagine me launching with damage not working at all. Wouldn't that be a hoot? I would just release a new version. It would probably bother people. Add slash graphic. This looks great. Clap. That may seem like I'm patting myself on the back in a commit message, which I am not doing. I think it looks great because of Quickie Joe. I do recognize the humor in that. Okay, so one of the last things we can probably do, the amount of time I have left and the amount of energy I have left, is fix that bug where the skill tree has party members. Well, I guess the character selector has party members. Party member. And we currently highlight these based on whether they're in battle. What does that? Adventure on battle state changed. Yeah. Reflect battle state. This just modifies the style box and sets a modulate. Okay, yeah. So what if we don't want it to reflect that? So let's just change this. Public bool does reflect battle state. Done. Now we just put that thing in here. Reflect battle state if good. And then in the character selector, when we make one of these things, party member dot does reflect battle state equals false. That's it. And bug fixed. Are the settings available anywhere? I don't think so. Are there any settings you'd want in particular? We'll get a new map in checkpoint 3. Okay, yeah. I can already picture it. It's just one giant tree, and Dark is like, the map's behind it. You just can't see it. So what used to be happening is when you started a battle, it would turn this red. And now it doesn't turn this red. But it should turn everything else red. Yes, this is red. And where's the other place this shows up? Where's the other place it shows up? Oh, at the end of a battle. Yeah, so it shows up right here. That I'm okay with. And this one I'm okay with. That's good. Cool, cool, cool. Stop reflecting battle, or stop representing battle state in character selector. Is that 50 characters? Yeah, it is. Stop highlighting adventurers red in character selector. No, it's still too many. How many characters am I over? 5? No highlight. I don't know what to write for this. Stop highlighting adventurers in character selector. That's 51. Oh my god. Just say fix character selector. It used to reflect the battle state of the adventurers therein. Now there's an option to ignore / reflect. Well, to ignore it. I'll just say that. Cool. Take care, Trackley. Hopefully see you on Friday. Hopefully you take time out of your busy life and play Skeleseller for like 10 hours. Whew. Okay, this could be easy enough to do. Let's try to do this one. End battle screen. So when this thing comes into view, I want it to fade into view. And we should just be able to tween the modulate of this property. Do we ever do that? We must do that. Yeah, here. Well, well, well. Look at how easy it is. Won't be able to make it on Friday. Promise to demo the game when I have time. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm really just teasing. If no one has time or interest even, that's totally fine. Well, I said it, if no one has time, that would not be fine. If anyone doesn't have time, that's fine. If not a single person plays the game, I would probably have a problem with that. Okay, so I want to just put this here. We want to fade to 1, which means our modulate needs to be 0. There's no way to just do this, can you? No, you can't. Modulate equals new color. Make a tween linear. Man, it'd be nice if this stuff was just in my head. It's not. Sine function, quintic, quartic. All right, let's look at a thing. Easing. Why is this all over the place? Yeah, someone made a chart. Okay, now we just have to figure out which one of these do we want. This is impossible. All right, what's the effect I even want? I want it to slowly become more transparent or less transparent. So I guess I want ease in quartic. Sure. Let's do that. When's the next interview? I don't have one booked, but probably September, and probably with a person who just chatted right after you. It'll probably be with Melmsy. But I need to reach out. and schedule something. Also, it'll probably be about game design. I was telling my wife, I'm like, people seem to like the interviews. I should do more. All right, so quartic and ease in. Quart. Ease. What? Out? Did I say out or in? I said in. Okay, let's try that. And this is over the course of 1 second. I don't think 1 second is too long. But let's see what it feels like. So this change makes it so that when a battle ends, it doesn't just immediately pop up the end battle screen. So if you watch over here, we just wait for this to finish. We all take a drink from our water bottles. All right, it should fade in pretty soon. Let's see. It's pretty good. That looks pretty slick. Now that does count for the auto battle time. So if we repeat the battle and then I win the battle, I can't do that and also show it zoomed in. Then by the time this shows, yeah, it's going to say starting battle in like 9 seconds. I still think that's good though. Yeah, let's see that one more time. Yeah, I like that. Oh God, we really made some progress. Yeah, I know, right? Look at that. We got slash graphics on that, on this thing. We got lightning zaps. I don't know if you've seen that one yet. Let me go to the dungeon here. Watch these skeletons get blasted. So cool. The yellow is a little harder to see on this scene. But yeah, it's looking nice. Got faster fireballs. Hey, Liquidor. What if you had a slight 1 frame flash to the zaps? When you say a flash, where would it show? Because like you wouldn't want to flash the entire battle scene, right? Should we really abuse that ability? At the point of impact. Yeah, I think it would be neat. Well, actually, wait a second. I'm not sure. Because remember, 10 bolts can strike at the same time. And I think 10 of those would be a little too much. When they're all concentrated on the same enemy, it could be cool. Notice your command message earlier? I don't think I did. Yeah, I don't think I did. Are you talking about this one? Because I even missed that, sorry. I was at least in the first checkpoint launch, but you know life requires you to sometimes not be in your computer watching on a stream. I disagree with that. But yes, no, at least you were in the first one. Code is bugging out insanely, and I've got 10 different files open and can't find the bug. Hate this. I recommend getting sleep. That should probably help quite a lot. Man, I'm so excited for this game. What is that 1 pixel barrier here? No. What is doing that? Is that that might just be a render artifact from not having an integer scale? Yeah, I think it is. But why is that so much lighter here? What's causing that to happen? It's lighter on the left side as well. Huh. Interesting. But the bug, yeah. Oh, browser isn't a command. Probably pretty obvious. Yeah, I don't know if I've put that somewhere. No, yeah, I don't even list it on the FAQ, which I can't show when this is open. Come on. Come on, close the game. Close it. Close it. Yeah, it's not even here. I guess people don't tend to ask me what browser I'm using. And in this particular case, it's apparent because I've had an update available for a while. I think it's the tiles are just bright on that side. Yeah, but the overlay should be covering it. That's the part I'm talking about. End battle screen should be set to size. Yeah, it's set to fully expand. And it goes on top of this thing. I think. Full rect. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything I could do differently there. I'm not convinced it's a very big problem though. I don't really care about it. So I think we'll just ignore it for now. All right. So fade in and battle screen. Before I check this in, let's put this into its own function. Private void fade in. And then in the bottom of ready, we'll take this code and just call fade in. There. And I guess I'll test it one more time, although I'd be pretty surprised if I messed that up. You never know, though. You never know. Start and win. Yeah. Okay. This gives the battles a chance to finish animations. Yeah. Okay, so that's done. Bitmap font. Yeah, I'll try this out tomorrow. I don't really want to change the entire font right before launching, but I think it might help. Oh wait, this is gonna break everything I do with BB code, won't it? Unless it can modulate text, but I also do things with font size, and that won't work. Oh man, I don't know. I'll have to look into this. See if it breaks any BB code stuff. Yeah, I think we're looking good. Could you maybe have some kind of nice frame or border around the individual windows? Maybe just some boards if there's no battle as an idle background. The border is something that's planned. The background, I imagine we're gonna have to do something there because right now having a third of the screen dedicated to one button is a little weird. I think what we could maybe do is show, I don't know, yeah, some other tile map or placeholder or something like that. But for checkpoint 2, I think we're gonna leave it as is. These decisions are gonna start stacking up later though. How much have you worked with BE to BE protocols? I don't know what those are. What is it, Pomoda? Is it looking polished? It's looking better than it used to. I don't know about polished. I feel like there's still some things that need to change for it to look polished. But we'll slowly get there. It's kind of interesting because when you are in launch mode for something, you are thinking a lot about, okay, how are people going to be experiencing this? And not just what tasks need to be done. And I feel like we've spent time polishing pretty early on. And I think it's good to have these launches. Like gRPC or REST. I've worked a decent amount with both of them. What is BE though? Oh, backend? Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've worked a decent amount. Yeah. Haven't seen in a while with big upgrades. Yeah. Lots of nice stuff that's now happening. Captain Proto. What's the project about? Could save me clicking a link for a sec. I want to just make sure I've finished up all this stuff. Getting checkpoint 2 ready. Lots of small tasks. So hopefully add up to a better experience. Yep, sounds good. Cool. And forcing full screen. I wonder if there's a way to like improperly close Godot. Can you exit a program and just ignore everything that happens? Application.exit and environment.exit. All right, I want to see what happens when you call environment.exit. Environment.exit. That's not a thing. Oh, system environment, not Godot environment. Ah, okay. What if I do this and just get rid of that? Will this let me quit the game? Because this is a little broken right now, and it's not my fault. Quit. Nice. Okay, yeah, I think we need to do this for now. Low level protocol constructor, so low level it doesn't need encoding. Wait, how could it not need encoding? How else would you... That's what I said. No, you didn't say how. You just said that. Because I think the way that gRPC works is that both the client and the server know the contract. So they essentially know how bits are going to be packed so that they can pull the data out. So if you had like a number and then a string or something, it knows what to expect. I want to get the docs. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Okay, yeah. Oh, that's what I said is you're saying my reaction was your reaction, not that you answered my question. Okay. I interpret it as that's what I said. Yeah. All right, so I'll just write this is a hack while where's the bug? No, not that one. Where's the bug? Can never find this. I know for sure this is written here somewhere. Let's just open this up in Finder. And then copy path. And then CD into that. RG crash. What? It's that? In the engine? Is this... No, what? March 5th. When was this closed? May 30th. Oh, I'm so confused. What is this? It's a style box thing. RGI style. Ah, here it is. Freeze on exit. This. Yes. Oh man, what node is that in? Godot engine. Hi, Abby. Freeze. I'm just gonna put crash there. That way I don't miss it. Okay. Hi. Good cat. Okay, bye. No, you can't scratch this. No, there's a scratch pad down there. Good girl. Okay. Let's try this out again. Kitty? Yeah. Oh my God, I took the best photo the other day. I love this. It's my lock screen now. Let me see if I can find this really fast. Yeah, I shared it in Discord already. Look at this picture. This just makes me so happy. I just absolutely love this. Okay, so this is still open and is probably never going to get fixed. Yeah, but as long as it's open, let's just put a link to this. This is a hack as long as this issue is open. Made that paste weirdly. There we go. Funny cat pictures for profile picture. It just cracks me up when I see it. Look at that. I know the brightness is all messed up. Oh man. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in quotes. Fix exiting. It crashes on exit due to a Godot bug, but that won't be okay for checkpoint 2. So this prevents the crash by, what's it called? I guess like forcibly shutting down. The sass in her adoption photo. Yeah, this one. She is really a good cat. We have on our bed, it's, my pillow and then the cat bed and then my wife's pillow. So the cat sleeps between us. And that way when we wake up, she's just right there. We can pet her immediately. Waste no time. Every waking moment, petting the cat. All right. Yeah, maybe I even make the notification component tomorrow and then switch all floating text in the town to that. Maybe nudge labels could also use this. No, they need to be dedicated space. Okay, well, I'm very happy with how today went. We got a lot of progress. We're in really good shape for Friday. Tomorrow is going to be working off stream. So Friday will be the next stream and the launch of the 0.2. And then Monday is going to be a music stream. And my I key is really messed up, huh? So probably going to be very annoying for some people. For one, I'm not claiming I'm making the best music in the world. And two is that even if it were the best, I think hearing it over and over for 2 hours in a row makes it frustrating. So if that sounds like your jam, then great. Show up for that. Very entertaining for 3 people. Totally worth it. Yeah. I'm probably going to stream it in the game dev section because, I mean, it is for a game. Let's go find someone to raid. But yeah, very, very happy with today. Okay, let's find someone new to raid. It's harder and harder to find new people because of my criteria, which is English, low uptime, and what was the other one? Oh, haven't raided before. Okay, it's looking like we're not going to raid someone new. So never mind. Let's go raid Irish John Games. All right, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Hope you've had a good time. Hope to see you all on Friday. Remember, if you do play the game, make sure to give feedback on Friday. And I'll see you then. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening.